Hey, hey. All right. I need to get the link out. Okay, here is the link for everybody. This is the after party. Hey, hey, hey. After party. There's GA.
Ghetto birds flying around already.
Oh, woo, 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 woo.
Did they shut that down, or
Yeah,
they still?
yeah. No, News Now shut it down. Everybody should be heading over here. I believe is what's up.
I thought maybe you had to start a panel for the people who can't get a word in edgewise on a panel.
Yeah, that's true too. That is a very true. Well, you saw it, the coronavirus. Did you like that? Thank you, Masshole. Here, let me put that link in there again.
I was kind of in and out, to be honest with you.
I saw you were.
So what's going on, man?
Not too much. Not too much. I thought we were going to continue the conversation that we had from over there.
I don't know where y'all left off. I had to put it down. I had a lot of trolling going on. To be honest, I was kind of losing interest.
Yes, there was.
I feel like the panels are a great idea for a meeting of minds and stuff like that. I just think there needs to be some kind of structure put into them. But
I agree with that too. That is a definite thing that needs to be done. There's 10th Man.
I'm critical. I'm my own worst critic, and I like to be able to edit my videos and stuff like that. So
that's true too.
What's going on, 10th Man? I didn't really.
Let me see if I can figure this out. There, that's better.
Just relaxing, man. Just trying to be a positive influence.
There's Wolfie.
What's going on, everyone?
There we are.
I'm here with everybody, and I'm kind of watching what's going on over, I guess, in Texas or something.
Oh, really?
Wolfie,
I don't want to say
the intro
out.
outro.
Something here, people.
The intro outro.
The intro outro.
I agree, Masshole's wife.
San Joaquin made my outro.
Yeah,
for a video he did for me, and I just used it. And I didn't want to make. I would never make that an intro because people don't want to hear like wolves howling in their ears every time they start a video. Like at the end, you can just cut it off.
GA. I'm just saying, I dig it, man. It was just it. What's up, Mr. Crispy?
Thanks, man. The first one I made by myself, though. The first one, the little 5-second clip, is something I kind of just like thought of, and I made it in like 30 minutes. And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" My idea came to life, and it was exactly what I wanted.
I just want to figure this out because I'm really confused. I can't put pieces together. So what I gather from that panel that y'all were in before, or we were in before, is so right, Chris. Oh, he's not even in here. He left. I have to wait till he comes back.
Okay, what were you thinking though?
And so he
wants everybody in here for the huddle, so when he says it, he doesn't have to say it again for anyone.
I guess.
Yeah, that part.
That works.
That part.
But yeah,
I would say it's the closest thing I've ever seen to like a CIA operative, but not in a bad way. Like that's his intelligence level. I just like, yeah, this is good.
Apparently, Pink Camera Magic, News Now Patrick, James Freeman, Nomad, and some other guy that I don't know are all out tonight, I guess, somewhere in Texas.
Yeah, I'm seeing that here.
I got it on mute while I'm up in here.
It's in the big old purple building with the lights shining up it.
They're doing something. They're in like a park or something. Nothing special. They're not like,
Yeah, I
you
got
know, hitting
this.
any places.
I run all the live streams of the auditors all at the same time. I'm gonna just watch what's going on.
Damn, you have a whole database. It's like live PD crew. It's
Yeah, I
like
got a few things going on.
16 switchboards of what's going on. We're in Tallahassee,
Kinda.
Georgia. Hell
You failed,
yeah.
right, Crispy. I was trying to clarify something.
What?
You know, there was a lot of talking and hoopla in that last panel. So you don't beat women?
I could have sworn you. I could have sworn you.
I
get paid
I don't beat women
unless they pay him
unless
to do it.
they pay extra. Exactly.
Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo.
If they pay me to do it, it's a mutual agreement.
These are the
And-
3 different types of beer that Crispy has drunk tonight. Yeah, only paid extra. They try so hard, man. They try so hard.
Like,
and
why
and
do you have
GA,
to-
please,
I'm
you've
listening.
been here. Is this a hostile environment that you've seen here?
No, I just laugh at all the
drama.
like the amount. That's why I brought it back up, because of the amount of time that you had to repeat yourself about the damn thing.
You know what's funny? It was almost like that whole drama scene that happened was like a Chuck raid.
Yep.
Like
that's
a
what I was
bug
saying.
drama.
And I
It
was
was
like,
almost.
I'm liking it. I was like, look at this Chuck raid of drama, yo. But I was like, all right, I'm tired of this drama. I'm glad that Paul cut them all off.
Masshole wife says, I feel like some were really trying to talk about interesting things while others were too focused on other things. Yeah, and it seemed like it was all on that other side. Again, we the people versus public servants. Private people. Public servants. It's not fair for the because if some of us make a mistake, we get thrown in jail and we have to find a lawyer who will defend us. If a cop makes a mistake, he's going to get paid leave. He's going to have a police association lawyer watching out for him, and they're going to have qualified immunity most of the time. You know?
And like, yeah, man.
Nothing interesting I found out.
Perfect and this and that, but you can't just like group everybody together too and just be like, just because you guys roll together at once, like you're this forever. Like
You
whoever's
rock.
the fucking
News
person
South
that's
Florida.
the fucking bullshit, point at that person. Don't group everybody together like you're all bullshit now, or whatever.
It's not like we're all just jobless losers. That's what everybody tries to tell themselves to make themselves feel better about the truth that is hitting them in the face, is that we have to do this. I stopped being with my family and being in my profession so I could go against what we all need to go against. Stop taking it up the butt and seeing this. Since 9/11, it has, in this day and age, in this current climate, it's gotten a lot more dangerous for people because they're using those catchphrases to destroy our rights. And by destroying our rights are like the Patriot Act, the NDAA. Oh, how are they doing it? By obvious, if you're a news reporter and you go to Standing Rock and you go on Facebook Live, the local sheriff takes you to jail, and then a few days later you get to prove that he violated your rights, and he has the cover of the NDAA because he said that you were inciting a terroristic riot. As a news reporter,
that's going on today, like what
that should
terrorism?
happen.
I don't get it.
Because all they watch is mainstream media.
How many people have terrorists killed since 9/11?
Good night, News Now, South Florida.
Deaths have happened in the United States since 9/11? Like, I want to know that.
Boston.
Terrorist deaths since 9/11. How many? Gotta know. And that Boston shit is weird to me too because
I know.
I watched that shit live on Oh, now this is when
Domestic.
CNN wasn't all politics all the time now, like they're cashing out on. But they were showing this shit all night, and they pulled some guy out of a car at 3 or 4 in the morning and shit, and they had him stripped down naked just in case he had any bombs. And the dude looked like the older Sanayev brother, and fucking, they were like, "That's him," and they got him in the back of the car now. Blah blah blah. I went to bed. I wake up and the whole story is like there was a shooting in the middle of the night, and the one brother ran over the other, and the other
Yeah, but you
one's
can never
gone.
listen to any reports after like large thing like that because they so many misreports.
So wait, so I went to bed at 4 and got tired of watching all this bullshit happening live, and they were continuing coverage on it, and then I wake up at like 9:30 or 10 o'clock, and the story's different. Like all of a sudden, like now there was like a shootout. Like, all right, so who's the guy that was naked? Now that I never see nothing about that.
Well, the
naked
story
dude.
does change over time because then they get the actual facts instead of what they speculate off the bat. There
Well, who's
were
the naked
witnesses.
guy,
This
though?
is what disturbed me. There were witnesses who took cell phone footage of the first shootout where I guess the brother ran over his own brother and all that shit, and they shot. It sounded like the finale of a fireworks display. Bra, 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 bra. Why isn't there any like trigger discipline on these police forces? Just like when there was a guy who was shot when he went to shoot his boss at the Empire State Building in New York, like 7 innocent bystanders got shot by the police shooting at the guy.
Yeah, when one officer fires, why do they all have to follow suit?
And it goes nuts. And if you see these cell phone footage of the Boston bombing pursuit, you'll see not only the shootout where the brother got killed, but where the other one was trapped in that boat, right? They shot that whole thing up with another flurry of bullets. What the fuck are you guys doing? Like, what are you aiming at? And how come, out of all this shit, the one brother got run over and that's what killed him, and the other brother got grazed by a bullet when he's in the boat? Like, thousands of rounds, it sounded like. And nobody really got killed by a bullet.
Look at the UPS truck just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's
We were there, dude.
Yeah, you
Really,
were.
seriously?
Not at the actual.
Oh yeah, I
spot.
remember.
Yeah.
They
You
were
guys came
towing
there
in the
after
cars.
that. I remember. What
Yeah.
was it? You guys that did the audit right where they had that happen, and then like something with one of their paperwork was out of date or something like that?
We actually went to the fire department with Big Nick, and they had a pass, and we saw the newspaper in their kitchen of the shootout. It was the morning edition of what just had happened. And then we moved on to the Miramar Police Department where they were bringing in all the cars that were left over from the incident.
Right.
And we were like, what are you guys doing with all these fucking people's cars?
Yeah, I remember
Like,
that.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty messed up, man. Like I wish they could have just said something. Like that all started because of what was his name, McGirt.
Dirk
That all
McGirt.
started because we walked up to McGirt and asked him what
He's
the
a fucking
operation that was
punk.
happening here, and he didn't want to tell us. He said, "My sergeant says I can't talk to nobody." Right? So we're like,
Exactly.
"What, dude? What's your sergeant's name?" He wouldn't tell us. Of course, he wasn't going to talk.
Yeah,
after
we
that.
said, get your sergeant here right now.
So we're like, "What the fuck? Are you just towing everybody's car? What is this? Was this a drug raid or something?" And like you're pulling in all these cars and you're parking them in front of like the municipal. It's weird to me. It's not an impound lot. You're parking them in at the municipal building, right?
Later
And it's
on,
like
we felt
tow
bad.
truck.
We thought,
It's like a big thing. It's like a mass operation looking thing, and we didn't know it was this shootout that happened from the UPS driver thing because we were on the road traveling the night before, and it turned a little ugly because people were like getting a little upset that nobody shared information, and then like the tow truck driver doesn't like that GA is recording him, and says something to GA about what does he say? Shut your D suckers, we'll say it that way, and not that we haven't said worse in this thing already, but or that was the last stream. Anyway, Yeah, and Big Nick gets upset. So Big Nick's like, yeah, you don't talk to another fucking man like that, yo. And Big Nick comes up and he's like, oh man, fuck you, dude, for that shit, you know? And anyway, that all turns into a big thing, and still nobody would tell us what happened and why they were doing it. So everybody's losing it. News Now South Florida is over behind the tape. He's like, how do I get out of the tape? Why did they take me in? Well, what's going on? And nobody's paying attention to him. All the cops are around him. I guess they consider him one of their own or something. And we're just laughing.
One of
And
the
then,
people
like,
says,
yeah.
Florida guys, thoughts on that guy that we don't say his name, the unknowing auditor. That's right, he doesn't know he is one. Exactly. For a long time, we've all been like, one day he's gonna be like,
He'll figure it out.
fuck.
Yeah. Light will dawn upon him, and he'll be like,
Fucking
oh,
moron.
you know.
He's a dummy.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
a big dummy. I
I'm
have so
trying,
much
man.
good footage, but again, I don't want to give him any publicity. I
No,
have so
I've
much
got it
good
too.
stuff.
Yeah.
Nuclear bomb stuff. Like, he's such an idiot.
I've got some good things too.
What a maroon. Yes.
And,
What a
one of the
maroon.
people says when Big Nick stood up for like NSE, that was pretty cool. When he just came out of nowhere, he was like, just grabbed News Now California's camera from him and said, "Look, dude, touch my camera. You touching me, I'm gonna touch you back." You know what I mean?
Yup.
Like,
That was so beautiful, man.
don't you mess with my buddy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, that was awesome, man. I really love that footage. That shit's awesome.
Yeah. I can't wait to
That's
put
what
that
it's
one
all
out.
about. That's what it's all about. That's when
I'm getting so many
when I saw press on,
comments
yeah.
on the video I put out today, Eyes of like, oh, I saw this already. I'm like, yeah, you might have seen Eyes on the States version.
Yep.
Or News Now South Florida's version, but you didn't see mine. We went to
Nope.
different places. You
We
gonna
did.
bellyache about that?
Yeah, don't even pay attention to it. They
Unsubscribe
give
to
Jeff
me.
they give Jeff a hard time about that all the time. That's just what these people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Blind Justice and Jeff and two other people go on an audit, they're each going to put up the video from that audit. Why wouldn't they?
Oh, our favorite.
And we go to different spots. We make sure not to huddle together and get the same footage and shit. We get different views.
Does anybody remember which auditor it was? Because I could never find it now.
Screaming at me.
When all the cops were starting to surround him, and he goes, "More than three's a militia," was beautiful.
Yeah.
More than three's a militia.
I like
That's what he said to
in,
the cops, man. It was so beautiful. I was laughing so hard.
That's good, man. I like.
How about in Pompano Beach when we were all at the lobby and then News Now South Florida just wanders off to, and then the guard loses. Like, wait, I lost one of them. The head count dropped by one. Hey, wait, you can't go over there. Come back here.
What's the one video? What's the one video with the where the cops like talking shit about stepping back, and motherfucker was like, he was like, I bet you if I came here with my camera and had a militia of 100 gunmen, that you wouldn't be doing this to me. Yo, that would protect me and shit. Like, you'd just be like, let him record, right? And I thought that shit was beautiful. I forget. Was that Freeman? I don't know who the fuck that was. It might have been Freeman or something. If I had a militia of 100 gunmen with me while I recorded, you wouldn't be doing this to me. That's like artful right there. I like that shit, man. And like to think of that shit while you're in a position of like distress where you're trying to fight for your rights and stuff is like, that's something that is earned through experience.
I'm passing out.
Yeah, what happened to Blind Justice? That was crazy.
But there's so many of them.
Gonna finish this beer with y'all.
Gulp, gulp, gulp. The bubbles fly.
That was the last question that I asked that lady that was in here. Or no, it might have been that Juan guy. And I'm like, you know, are you guys aware that 30,000 children under the age of 10 have been arrested under the age of 10 in the past 7 years? And
Yeah.
you know, like they're not even paying attention to the reality of what's going on. They're living in a dream world.
Yep.
They're quite simply the same as the people who just went along with it when they're
Yep.
eradicating people in
800
World War II.
Very
They
true.
just did a news report on the mainstream media down here in Florida about how many arrests that there were and stuff about that with school-age children and things now at this point.
800,000 children a year are kidnapped
Yeah, by the
And-
police.
Yep.
and lost, and 30% of them happen right in front of their face. Like, that's something that it's happening.
Bootlicker.
Well, don't you think it's funny that
people-
people have
Right in front.
actually formed ideas like that it's aliens and magic and ghosts when it's actually the police and the government and the FBI all shipping them off to Epstein's Island? That's why I said I'm going to get the alien guys involved in this stuff. We got to pay attention.
We gotta watch that Corey Feldman thing
Yes.
where he talks about Hollywood pedophile rings. He's gonna do it on a new platform. I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be a one-time only viewing of a documentary about it.
Yeah, when is it?
It's in March.
Yeah, man. That
I
shit
think
needs
it's
to be
March
still-
12th. I'm not
They're
sure.
gonna
It
stop him
does.
from doing it. They're gonna stop him from doing
He
it.
said that he and Corey Haim were passed around
Yeah.
through
By all
pedophile
of
rings.
Yes, Masshole's wife. I do have my wife's support on this.
My wife is actually gonna start doing Americans with Disability Acts audits. She's a doctor.
Yep.
And she has a lot of patients who complain to her about the trouble that they find in
Constantly.
having people respect their disabilities and
Wheelchair
trying to accommodate
accessibility?
them in the slightest way by going on Amazon, paying $80 to have a little ramp on the doorstep of your shop that allows wheelchairs to roll over it smoothly.
to go in and
Stupid
out.
shit like that. People are just like, no, I'm going to save the $80. Fuck everybody in a wheelchair. So there's a call for it.
Yeah, and there's tons of other people out there doing that already. Like these ADA audits, you know what I'm saying, are needed. Like
Yes.
everybody knows somebody who needs a handicap accessible ramp or elevator lift to get up
Yeah.
to a place.
Wolfie is the one who told me about the guy. His name's what's it called? The
Sativa Cross.
Sativa
well,
Cross. Yeah.
Yeah, if you'll really see a lot of his shit if you go to like Sativa Cross on Facebook or Ed Grimes. I'm not sure if his friend's thing is full or not, but he shares
But
a
you
lot
know
on
what?
Facebook. He just got over 1,000 subscribers, so I have to let him know to go start doing all your live shit there.
So for all the people who want to go against them and the ADA people, of course, there's going to be somebody that says that their service animal is a service animal when it's not really a service animal. And
Yeah, I
they're
mean-
just trying to get away with letting their dog shit anywhere without having to pick it up.
Right. Like I was just at this jail, this prison.
So there's a
They had-
place for y'all.
I was at a prison that had a sign every 25 yards that said, please clean up after your dog, strictly enforced and shit or whatever, right? And there's dog shit everywhere, dude, like all along this whole shit. Nobody cares, right next to the sign, in front of it, in back of it, next to it, here, like a whole stretch of just dog shit everywhere around this prison with these signs,
Yeah.
right?
Get
Strictly
center.
enforced.
Somebody call center.
Yeah, why
What are
ain't
the
they ever
cops there
called
for?
center on the person that fucking is like the culprit of the dog shit, you know?
They
like,
called center over two guys with cameras, but they don't call center over the same exact
The
fucking dog
Yep.
shitting in the same exact place with the same exact giant turds.
All
I saw it
around
on the video.
all around it.
It was in the
All
same
around
spot.
And it's a prison. It's a state prison, and they have cameras everywhere, and they're seeing everything. They have stations everywhere, towers and shit. And these people are having their dogs drop deuces all around it, dude. It's like filled with.
No,
It's like
you're
landmines
absolutely
of
right.
dog
Like the
shit.
pounds per square inch on doors. If somebody's in a wheelchair, they're on wheels, so it's super hard to open a door, and
Yep.
they have to put their brakes
Yep.
on and stuff. So
I've seen wheelchair ramps that were too narrow for actual wheelchairs to go up. Like
a lot
they
of
would only
public
shoot
places,
thinner,
doors are heavier.
motorized.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you have to be there's a compliance code that, and like, how are they getting away with this? Like, who are they paying off? In the construction zoning department. That's why I always go to the construction zoning department. I love going there first when I go into any of these buildings.
I watched an audit yesterday or today, maybe. It just got put up. I'm not going to plug other people, but they went into the place, the sheriff's office, where you drop off drugs, like all your old drugs and crap. And there's like the guy put the law right up on the screen of that they're supposed to keep records by weight of how much they take in, blah 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 blah, before they transport it. And when he went there for the logs and to ask them about it, they're just like, no, we don't do anything like that. Like they just do whatever they want. They don't follow any rules or any laws. It's literally a rogue cult that just goes around and does whatever and murders people.
It's a boys' club. It's a boys' club there. That's what it is. It's slap your knee, haha, we did this, slap each other's ass in the back, and good job, you did this. Oh, I have to do that.
But you want to know something? If any one of you guys ever did something that was egregiously wrong, all of us would call you out on it. And that's the difference between us and those monsters.
We pay them to do that to us. It's and all like I do is go out and record them. Like, it's not like I'm coming over there, trying to do anything malicious or anything, or what we do, like, and that's totally offensive to them and all the people and the trolls and the bootlickers and all that shit. Right?
Well, you and I have never talked before, Wolfie, right? But see, I did my first audit last Monday at my courthouse. I'm here in St. John, New Brunswick, right? So I think outside the box. I've watched many thousands of your guys's. I've even watched some of your audits, but you haven't been at it as long as some of these guys. Yeah. But I go up to the courthouse and I said, you know what? I'm not going to record when I go into the courthouse. What I'm going to do is just ask them about recording, because they always say, I've seen many hundreds, maybe not thousands, but it's hundreds of videos where they say, oh, well, if you just asked us before you came in here with the cameras and freak everybody out, then it wouldn't be such a problem. So I went to the courthouse. I took pictures of this properties for sale out in the lobby, went inside and just asked about recording. And then he started asking me for ID and said that my behavior was out of the normal with the questions that I was asking. So it doesn't matter. They're just crazy. They're just going to flip out no matter what.
You know what's funny? I almost I get denied
a
lot because of ID, right? I get denied a lot of places because of ID, and like the cops will come and they'll say no. Like, what am I supposed to do? Force entry at that point and risk, whatever they're gonna try to pin on me? Because they'll do it, and it's been proven over and over again. But like sometimes I'm just like the DHS and FBI already came to my house. They already know me, so like they're probably doing their due diligence, like they always, like they sit on my doorstep. You didn't do nothing wrong, but we're doing our due diligence. And I was saying this earlier to Rights Crispy. We were having a conversation.
Yeah,
and
it's an excellent.
And now I'm doing my due diligence. Nobody needs to be doing anything wrong for me to do my due diligence.
No, you pay taxes.
I don't need to be doing anything wrong for them.
You got to see where that money goes.
And that's it. Diligence. It's like you're not doing anything wrong. We're just doing our due diligence, but they traveled, all the way up from Trenton and New Brunswick to come down to see me. So
you hear that, crazy clown? That's due diligence. That means that whatever hate the state did with their own lady, that's a private dude. But the government treated him like a second-class citizen. We have to have our due diligence. to make sure that he's not treated wrong.
Right.
And
So
that
if
you're
I'm
not
doing
treated
nothing
wrong next
wrong
time.
and you can do your due diligence because I've done nothing wrong, then I can do my due diligence on other people who have done nothing wrong. So and that's I'm not saying, like I'm saying, I'm not saying anybody's doing anything wrong, but I can do my due diligence, right? I mean, that's what they explained to me on my doorstep, and that's all I'm saying. And like, they probably watch everything I fucking do wherever my IP goes or whatever. Like, fuck them, I don't care. So my
VPN.
point of this is that I almost wanna just like, here's my fucking idea. I still want to go inspect this fucking building. You know what I'm saying? But like
Facts.
like some people would say, man, you're just giving up your Fourth Amendment rights. But at the same time, if you're gonna do that, and I don't really care about my identity, sometimes I park at these places and just like, yeah, record my tag, driving off. I dare you to pull me over because I'll just record you retaliating, So, but like sometimes I leave these places because they're trying to take my Fourth Amendment right away from me, where I could have just, like right now, I'm like, fuck my Fourth Amendment right, because everybody knows who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? Like, but I still want to go in and shine the light on what's going on inside this building. Like, if the camera's not the problem, and my Fourth Amendment is, like, I think that some of us have the right to just say, fuck that, yo, here's my Fourth Amendment. You know what I'm saying? I want to go and practice my first in here. But I don't know, But I
Dude,
haven't
my
done it
Fourth
yet.
Amendment
I'm just
right,
thinking about
if
it. I'm
they
like,
took it
why do I
by
care
writing
so
it
much?
down and say, Mr. Wolf moved
I
on
know
to the
people
other
should care.
building. Dude, your name is Mr. Wolf. That's awesome.
I know that people should care about their Fourth Amendment right. But I'm in a position now, as I've been doing this for so long, that I'm recognized by the government already. So
Yeah, as Mr.
why should I
Wolf,
care anymore about my
which is
Fourth Amendment
awesome.
right if that's just my First Amendment right? Like, why should will the viewers hold me accountable? Because there's new people that come in this every day that see everybody else not giving up their Fourth Amendment right, that won't understand my story. But and that's where the thing is. Like, I really still want to go in these buildings, but I'm missing out because I'm really not giving up my Fourth Amendment right. I'm telling you, F yourself. I'm not gonna do it. But inside of me, I'm like, psh, that little piece of plastic card. You know what I'm saying? To go in there and shine the light on all these little people that are that's sucking up tax dollars left and right. Say, don't record me, don't record me, and I can teach them a lesson a little bit. Like, they already ID'd me, they know who I am, and just be carefree about it. Like, that's also satisfying to me. So I don't know. That's a conundrum. I don't know what people think. Is there ones and twos, or how should we do that? I don't get it. Would it
Yeah,
be
skip the
okay?
ad, people. If you guys
Would it be
watch my
one, if it
videos,
would
that's
be
okay.
okay if you're in a
Joe
position
Cool. There's Joe
that
Cool.
you already know that all the government knows who you probably are
I
anyway,
let the ads
and
play.
just to
Thank
get
you.
accountability shine inside the building further, or two, if just say F it, you know what I'm saying, leave. But we'll see
Well,
how many ones and twos we get.
I agree with you, Wolfie. It is kind of iffy about the whole ID thing. I say it depends on where you're going. You got to play it by ear, and nobody can really judge you because they're not doing it. But I'll tell you this much about the whole auditing thing is I watched a sheriff get interrogated for well over an hour. And it was about all the sheriffs, like the deputy sheriffs, signing off on 12, 16 hours here and there every week, just enough to get medical benefits and pension and all that stuff, right? And then when they're asking him questions, he's like, well, I just assume that they're being honest. And the other people that were investigating were saying, well, yeah, but it's your job to make sure that what they're saying is true and stuff like that. And it goes for us too. They're our employees. It's our job to make sure that they're doing their job properly. If they're stealing money or they're doing
It's a
illegal
civic
things,
duty.
it's our responsibility. We're negligent if we do not.
It's not if they're stealing money. It's they have been for decades, and we
course.
are already way past. We're bailing water on a big fucking sinking ship, and we need to bail the water fast. Everybody needs to get on board on this plan. Stop fucking acting like we're not sinking.
Did I tell you guys about the firemen fighting the police in France there week before last?
Yeah, the yellow jackets, the yellow vest movement.
No. No, they were the
Oh
actual.
no, you were saying something else. Yeah.
43-second clip of like hundreds of firemen versus like hundreds of police in riot gear, and they're beating up the firemen because the firemen were protesting for higher wages or whatever. How are you going to have policemen beating up firemen? It's not a GTH cheat code.
Right. That happens though, because it's not about their badges or any office they hold. It's humans. We're so flawed. But let's be humble and realize that and try to fucking fix it instead of pointing out all the problems. Of course, identify them, but not point them out just to ridicule with no productive resolution. We have to fix this shit. And focus on the right thing, not the wrong things, not what people try to deflect.
Fix it. I mean, all right. The way I look at this is what we're doing in our lifetime is just like one turn of the wrench. You know, we can only do that over time. But like it would have to carry on. Like you see the young girl in your video who's telling the dude off, like, look, what they're doing is protecting rights and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just chill the fuck out. You know? So like if we have more people like that, like that's promising, man. Seeing that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but you know, in Barcelona they have that church, La Sagrada Familia Church. I think that's what it's called. It's gonna be about 50 more years before they're done building it. It started 200 years ago, though.
And that's another thing too.
Who designed it knew he was never going to live to see it done, but for generations to come, they'll fix it and build it up.
Everybody resigns themselves to like, we're never going to live long enough to see any change anyway. So just why you guys got to be jerks or something, you know?
Oh no, because
no, it's like far deeper than what that is, you know, like, and people don't understand that. Like, that's how they think. They're like, why would I think that I could ever make a change in the world, you know? Like, and so I just mind.
We're all getting punched in the face. Why don't you like getting punched in the face?
Yeah, that's a harsh way of saying it. It's not like they like getting punched they like gently getting punched in the face. Or like
gently love taps.
I don't like to say rape because there's rape victims out there that it's actual rape, but like gently.
Yeah, that's what I didn't.
Victimized, you know, and you're being victimized of all your freedoms stripped, but gently. It's like the diffusing officer comes up and he's like, "Oh yeah, well, just talking, you know, oh yeah, so yeah, I understand totally, you know," and then it's like, dude, stop trying to gently strip me of my freedoms and victimize me, you know. And
but you need to feel all warm and fuzzy inside while I do it, so that you'll take it good and easy.
Yeah. These other two tyrants over here that you just dealt with, that you had to deal with. Like I'm the gentle one. I'm the one that's gonna rub your back while you get victimized.
God, this is horrible, man. I mean, you got to think about all the people who've actually gone through this.
No, I'm saying victimized.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying, I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying this is just fucking tough to realize. You know what I mean? It's happening right now.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're out in the streets exactly right now. They're like,
they're doing it inside some institution right now. We're paying somebody to do it to somebody.
Everybody says it's like a race thing or something, dude. No. It's further than that. This is a youth thing. These cops are out there victimizing the young youth, you know, and just because, you know, the youth is mixed religions, you know, anybody who looks like they would be frail to sticking up for themselves or whatever, and easy target like that, they go after that person. They're trained to go after young people because the older the person, and this explains why our like target audience or whatever is just or our natural audience is, between like 35 or 40 and 70, is because these people understand they've been hardened. They're the people that support us. They understand. Most of our subscribers, I would say, are mature people, and not the youth. Now, the youth are the ones that we're trying to also bring in. Like that, we need the youth. We need the youth. Like these people that are watching us that already know their rights. Like we need more than that. We need the kids that are too busy paying attention to rap lyrics or whatever.
Yeah,
They
it's
just,
not gonna
to
happen.
pay attention to what their rights are, man, so that it can carry on like generation to generation, and
I
that
know,
they
but we
can.
need to ride the wave from that commercial that they put out at the
Mhm.
Super Bowl, right?
It's gonna take a big old miracle landing of that wave to.
That's me.
And the only reason I do this like YouTube thing, I said this a long ass time ago, like other people can testify, is because if I put a video out and it blows up, right? Like good, yay for me, right? But the real thing is like if that shit shows up on your recommended list and you were watching videos about turtles or whatever, like I like turtles, right? And the next video pops up is my video, and you just click on it and you're like, oh my god, people do this, and you don't even like my shit. Like you're like, this guy is a stupid ass. I can't stand his voice. I can't stand him.
Subversive.
Right?
He's
I
a
don't care. That's
subversive.
cool. But then you see that like the next video is going to be somebody else, and you say, "Oh, people do this. People do this." Okay, and then you find the person you like. You find that the San Joaquin, the James Freeman, the Johnny
That
Five,
Wolfy
the
Gladly.
Southeastern PA, the Rights Christie, the News Now California. The person that you like, anybody, all of them. The Jeff is here. Everybody out there,
Yes.
and uh and if you find one person you like just by finding me that you think is a douchebag or annoying doing it, and you find out about this whole thing that we do, is all I care about. It's the only reason I keep doing these videos, dude.
Well, the reason why I came here was blind justice, because I'm a disabled person myself. I have multiple disabilities, and I have been mistreated by healthcare on a regular basis. And it really meant a lot to me that he was going out there and standing up for disabled people. And then when that happened to him, I've had a couple drinks of wine here, so I hope I don't start getting too emotional and angry. But quite simply, the very same thing happened to me about 8 or 10 years ago. And that's why I ended up on Jeff's stream. And then that's why I've joined this community, because first thing Jeff said, right after that, he went out and he went to the city council meeting and he said, "What's going on? What are you guys going to do?" And then I went to my city council meeting, and then now I'm starting to pour it on here. And I know it doesn't mean a lot in Canada, but it
means a lot, man. Get that out of your mind, because when I go into a place here where I live, they're like, "What are you doing this for?" It's because I'm showing somebody in Canada how to do it where they are, and how we maintain our freedom. I'm not alone. We're not alone.
I was out with Rogue Nation one time, and they said he said, to one of the cops, I forget which one it was. He was like, "Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel where I show people how to sue cops." And dude, that shit just blew my mind, him just saying it like that. Like that shit really probably struck that cop. Like, and he was serious about it because he has American freedom. You know what I'm saying? He's showing people the process and the updates and shit. And like, man, dude, just hearing him say that shit, I was like, what the fuck? Like that shit blew my mind. And the cop took him so serious, like, oh my god, like, and it's like, I have all these people that watch me.
He's not alone. The cops have seen their buddies throughout the years, especially the salty cops. Their friends have lost their pensions because they fucked up. And that's why you'll see some of the older cops are just like, "No, let him do what he wants to do. I'm about to retire."
I've seen some people do some real G shit in front of me because that was one of them. Like, and that was a situation that de-escalated things and stuff. Like, like, what are you doing here? And like, for real, like, I have a YouTube channel. I tell people how to sue cops. Like, Man, that's like ballsy as fucking. It's awesome, dude, and that was something pretty cool.
Well, I'm gonna boogie on out of here. You guys, great talking to you.
You too.
Great talking to everybody.
Yes, sir.
All the
Don't take wooden nickels.
and great listening to everybody too. When I could listen to you, Eyes on the State,
Yes.
you did make some great points,
Thank you.
and
tried
I
to.
wish I could say so much for the other side of things, because all I saw was what I was saying is one of the multifaceted attacks against transparency. It's character assassination. And regardless of people's character flaws, whatever they do, if they're charlatans, if they're liars, if they do this, that's one of the people versus the government. You know, let's
Yep.
keep focus on that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. Yes, I agree with Rights Crispy. Everybody needs to remain focused on who is the actual
Culprit.
the culprit, the subject at hand.
All right, yo. High
Stop
five,
going
Wolfie.
against each other and love each other. See ya, Rights Crispy.
High five.
I don't even know. I can't even go there.
He's got. It's hard.
I'm leaning on my elbow. I'm leaning on my elbow. It doesn't reach.
No, it doesn't work that way, does it?
Yep. Nope. But yeah, dude, definitely agree with what he said. Everybody, with that whole thing that was going on in News Now South Florida's live stream, with the whole, like I said, drama raid.
Beautiful.
That was a drama raid, yo, and
Yes,
You guys
there was a lot of drama.
Oh,
funny, but it's crazy how they get attacked up there because one person hangs out with another person, you know, or maybe, you know, he was misfed information from that guy himself and he said it and it was mistaken. It kind of seemed like he was like, oh, I'll have to recheck up on it, you know, and he was asking for the actual thing so he could see it
Yeah.
himself. He was admitting he didn't see it himself, you know, he just took his buddy's word for it.
Yep.
So to call him a big fat liar because he took his buddy's word because the video doesn't really truly show it. Like, all right, it was a mistake. He said like he did it or this dude did something and it was different or something. But he was willing to address that mistake and they're still coming on there trashing him. This is a big shit show up there in the New England area. And if you're connected with any one of these dudes, Wolfie Raid. Oh no, the drama raid. Yeah, so I feel bad for that. That's weird. I mean, for me, if they, like I have personal attacks against me all the time in my comment section, but there's not like a channel that's doing it. That's pretty different.
I only have dudes trying to hook up with me.
I have a few that come on that have nasty comments and stuff like that, and I don't know why, because I'm really not as vocal as some guys are with some of the stuff and things that they do. I try to stay more neutral on the way that I go about it to where there's not any finger pointing that can be done at it. And I try to ignore them now at this point.
Yeah, I'm just me. I know I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not going in there trying to instigate anything. I just doing what I can do, and that's it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not being ignorant about it. I'm like, oh, okay. Because somebody asked me, do I need any help, and I say no, thanks. I'm just checking around. Does that make me a bad person? No, I don't think so.
Like
and that's probably about the extent of me. And it's like, oh no, just looking around at my government employees and shit.
Yeah, like the reason that I go is this paperwork right here. Let's see if the camera will get it. It's a public records requests.
Yeah, I always just yeah.
And this is from the Department of Revenue for the Child Support Division.
Right.
In one office, they were supposed to collect $39 million in Florida in 1 year. They only collected, they missed it by about $500,000, I guess, how much they were supposed to get.
Wow.
Here's the one thing that really is questionable about what they have is for the month of December, there was $206,223.36 in undistributed collections or collections pending disbursement for cases assigned to that office. Why isn't it that as soon as they get that money, why isn't it being given out to the people it's supposed to be given to? Because that's a lot of money.
Because it's making interest in a bank account.
Huge amounts of money. Huge amounts of money.
So this money's never being has the final transaction anywhere.
No. It's the amount of money that funnels in and out of the family court system is ridiculous.
I made a video. Have you ever seen the video where I catch these families coming out of the Department of Human Services in Philadelphia?
Oh, yeah?
And dude, and we went there to show them a lesson because it was like a third visit, because Pennsylvania went there once, and then I went there with him, and then this dude bounced the door and made sure we couldn't come in, and then we were like, all right, we'll be back, and then we came back with another channel with us, and we went back in there, and then we walk in, and the one channel I was with, I'll just say the one channel, says, what do you guys do here? And the lady says, this is the DHS. This is where we take your kids.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she says. It's on my video. I'm like, what the fuck? And then she looks at me and sees me recording, doesn't see the other guy recording, the channel that asked her, and says to me, are you recording? I said, oh, hell yeah. And then she comes around and wants to try to grab my camera.
But then want that put out.
And then tries to kick us out. And then we talk to the cops, and then the cops, leave, or we're there with the cops, and we kind of both leave together, and we're talking with these families that are coming out. They're talking about their whole history of the child abuse that they went through and that their kids are going through in this whole system. And the one girl's talking about, like, she stayed in one house where the foster mother told another foster child, don't have sex with her, about her, and they're like, what kind of thing is that for a family to go into, and then like they would lock like the kitchen cupboard and shit, like all the money that they received to feed the kids, like they would only give out sparingly, because
is huge amounts of money.
Right. And the story is getting out, and I'm like, thank God the story is coming out, like it's so sad, but it needs to come out. People need to do these places all over the place. Like,
what I gotta say is I know that you guys audit a lot more than I have, because I've only just watched audits until like literally 3 weeks ago. But I've noticed that just over the past year, what you guys have actually done is brought light to cops that later are actually indicted on charges, because those same tyrants do much worse things. They just don't get caught. I'm telling you, man, I just saw 2 different ones today where they showed the encounter that they had, a year or 2 ago with a cop. I saw 2 different ones today where now they're actually being charged with literal crimes that they've committed. So that's what I'm saying. They're not all bad. All the cops aren't bad. Here where I am, that's why I wish that my video would have recorded today, but I'm almost done fixing that problem now. But because it went very well. None of the cops gave me a hard time. They had some dogs sniffing around in one place looking for a gun. They said, don't go down there. I said, no problem. And then I went down there when they left. Everything was awesome. It would have been a perfect audit.
Yo, you know what's weird about my town? They don't really mess with anybody for bullshit traffic stops. Like, maybe if you're speeding and it's freaking, it's outrageous, they'll get you or something. I don't really see it anywhere, so I applaud them for that. But they watch this little small bodega supermarket in the hood section, but they don't ever do any busts or anything on anybody there. But like I heard word that the police are getting paid and
Yep.
protecting people that are going into this place. So I'm trying to be careful about everything I say. So
Word on the streets,
anyway,
they've been told, third-hand information, can't confirm it.
so I think that leads to the fact that people aren't getting pulled over because they might get the wrong person that's working for somebody that they're getting paid from or something, and that all might be a collateral thing or something. It's so weird because every town around it, they just try to get you for anything. And this town, hey kitty, and this town, yeah, real crazy. I thought about that last night. There has to be a reason why they're not pulling people over for, 0 points on your license infractions and shit.
Yeah. It's a racket.
I was rewatching some of Jeff played one of his audits on his stream the other night and I had watched it before and I'd forgotten about it when the cops were shining a light on him and he goes, "Yeah, I got one too. Here you go." And he goes, "You like it? Do you like it? Well, do you like it?" Because you're shining the light right back in their faces. That's what we got to do, man. Just stand up for our rights. I mean, no one wants to shine the light at him, but he's doing it to you.
Yeah, I need to get a big flashlight to shine on people too, but in some cases, you have to know what your laws are in your state, though. I'm sure there's different state laws here and there that say you can't do it. So I wouldn't recommend everybody shine a light back.
I just thought it was hilarious when he was doing it.
Hey, some states have really weird laws. We just talked about it. The 3 felonies a day. So be very careful. Like shit. I learned that when I went to Florida. The very first audit, I learned it. I was like, I got to remember I'm in a whole new state. You know what I'm saying? So stick to different guidelines. We went to Polk County Government Services Building, I think it was called. I don't know what the hell it's called. And the place that GA got kicked out of. And went there and I was like, I got some good footage. And then went to another office and this lady was like, I was like, "Hey, can I get a public records request?" And she was like, "Oh, no." She was like, "I could just write it down for you." And I was like, "No, I'd pretty much rather have the form. Much rather have the form and just take it out of here." And
you've only been doing this for like 3-4 months, right?
We just write it down for you. I was like, that doesn't sound right. I was like, you know what? I'll talk to the AG about it. You know what I'm saying? She was like, okay. And I walked out and Rice Krispies walking in. And I'm like, they don't give you public records request forms here. And he's like, they don't have to. They just have to write it down for you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to roast myself on that video. I'm going to call it some shit. You heard it here first. Like, auditor gets owned by the tax lady.
Auditor gets owned by the tax lady.
Some of those administrative assistants and people that work in those offices are super, super smart. And those are the nice ones usually.
Yeah, she was actually professional. She knew she had to write it down for you.
Yes.
She was like, okay, go to AG. I don't care.
Kiwi, do you have any other statement to make, any other than that? Because I don't even know where anything like that has been brought up into this conversation, but you can't stop typing it in the chat. So, I mean, is there something you got to say other than that?
What's that? Who?
He just keeps, or he or she just keeps going on and on and on and on and on about hippies and druggies are not helping the matter.
Why aren't they up here talking?
I don't know. Whoever it is just, doesn't have anything more to say. And it's just kind of bobbling the chat over there where people are actually having a good conversation back and forth. So
it's probably a 13-year-old cop's son.
It probably is. It could be.
That's what I'm saying. See, I don't even pay attention to those people. If they want to come up and have a conversation, like I had a couple of trolls.
Let's see if they want to or not.
I would love it. Love it.
Like here,
who is it?
Here's Pono Kiwi, like here's what Hillsborough County just started doing. The county council just approved a needle transfer program to where they'll take dirty needles and give out clean ones. You gonna go and tell them, because that's what they're doing. They're promoting drug use by switching needles back and forth with drug addicts that they know are clearly drug addicts, because they're bringing needles in from clean ones to get clean ones. I mean, oh, you're muted yourself.
I welcome that, because here where I live, there are dirty needles everywhere. So I'd much rather them take them in and get them off the actual streets so my nieces and nephew don't have to walk by them to go to school in the morning. So, like,
I agree with that aspect of that. That's a good aspect of that, and that's smart. But why don't they solve the root of the problem first and try and get these people that are addicted to these drugs off of these drugs?
that's a long conversation, buddy. It had to be just me and you.
Yeah,
I can explain it all to you.
A long conversation.
It is.
I agree with 10th Man on the people die more from catching the like Hep C and AIDS from using the dirty needle.
You guys need to understand where I'm from. You really do need to understand where I'm from. I'm from the closest thing you can. A-Balance came on the other night and he explained that I'm where I live now is the closest thing you can get to a third world country in North America. It's worse than Detroit.
Where is that? New Brunswick?
It's a place. It's not that bad a place to live if you have a job, right? But I'm fairly skilled, so I always have a job. But it is a very industrial place. And there's that's what my audit that I failed earlier because I didn't record properly was shooting. And that happens here constantly. The two places that I've lived, I don't know how I've survived, in all honesty, because guns everywhere.
You go to Kensington in Philadelphia or Camden, New Jersey, or Trenton.
Just trust me.
See that shit is like fucking Bosnia or whatever.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is a tiny, tiny little place that takes less than 20 minutes to drive anywhere, and there's a shooting at least 7 times a month. Like, it's just all the time, and that's the stuff that's reported. And
7 times a month? Just the shooting. Yo, dude, Philadelphia is like, dude, they are.
There's 50,000 people here.
Well, okay, yeah, it's a little bit different, than 3 million, so. But
I'm just saying, it's ungodly, right? And the amount of drug use. While I was out and I didn't get any of the recordings, it was funny because the cops were like, "You can't walk down there," and I'm like, "But there's people walking everywhere, and there's just meth addicts walking everywhere, all over the place." But they're saying I can't walk back down there, but there's at least 17 meth addicts just milling around.
Dude, man, shit. Even where I'm at right now, I like to go a little bit further out to go to if I want to go out and get some booze or something from a store. Because all the stores here got the panhandlers, the crackheads, all that shit. It's the Northeast, man. It's really packed together, and I understand what you're talking about. But man, there's this place. Such a places like Gary, Indiana, or Camden, New Jersey.
I know.
There's places that are tough, man. Around here that are third world countries in themselves. Trenton, man. Dude, Camden is prettier than Trenton. Dude, I couldn't believe my eyes when I really extensively looked around. Dude, I could put a screenshot up. Matter of fact, I'll do it. I don't have the video out yet. We went to Trenton City Hall. Trenton City Hall was dirty as hell looking from the outside. Black spots, moldy looking, just nasty, right? And all these buildings were like that. But the insides were done up all nice. With the taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
But the outsides, we're not getting pressure washed or treated or or preserved. Like, do you have any kind of class? Do you like appreciate your city, have pride at all in your buildings? Like, it was disgusting. And Southeastern PA said the best on the one video. Dude, if I lived on this street, and I think like pretty much any street in Trenton, like I couldn't believe this. And I thought I'd been to bad town in Camden, but fucking Trenton, dude, like dirty, depressing. I would kill myself if I had to live there. And I'm sorry to anybody who's in Trenton.
I may not have prefaced my entire deposition quite extensively enough. I'll say this: I'm really cheap, so I always end up in like the worst area in whatever town I live in. And this place was a nice 3-bedroom apartment. You know, it looks really good from the inside and everything. So I ended up on the worst street in the entire city, across the street from the homeless shelter, right? Yeah. Like the women's shelter and the men's shelter, right across the street.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm actually getting to know these people, and they're put there because of bureaucracy. They're not put there because they're bad people or they have a drug habit. They're literally put there because they're unable or unwilling to navigate the terrible nightmare system that we have in place. Like, I can't say very much because I have some civil stuff. Like, I spent the day before yesterday finishing up my actual lawsuit that I had to write myself because I refused to pay a lawyer. Right? I'll do it myself. I'll go get templates online, do it myself.
We don't need a lawyer for civil lawsuits.
No.
It's easy.
So,
it's you're not fighting a criminal charge.
But most people don't want to do that. They don't have to, right? So I am starting to see, and that's some of the stuff that I will release eventually, some of the phone calls that I've had with people. Like, you don't know me, Wolfie, but Eyes, if he still remembers the other night, remembers me a little bit, but like, nope. I've been fighting this fight for a very long time.
Yeah, it's a fight. I mean, there's no easy way through it. There's definitely not.
Well, I'm going to give you Eyes only, or Eyes on the State. Sorry, a story that I've never given anybody else. Like, I kind of cherry pick and give each one of you guys a different story. In all reality, I'm doing it as a very calculated way of not giving all of my information on any one specific channel, if you understand me.
Yes, I can understand.
I'm a little more devious than you might possibly.
Hey, 1 second here. I just want to address Masshole's wife. They seem okay. Just because they seem okay doesn't mean they are okay. I'm sorry. Continue on.
Never judge a book by its cover. All right, go ahead now.
I've never told anybody this anywhere on YouTube, anything like that, because I'm just letting things out slowly. But all right, so
is a high auditor acceptable, guys?
I'm not sure what you're asking, sir.
Well, I'm asking for Pono Kiwi. I don't know what they're asking, but is a high auditor acceptable?
So what do we consider a high auditor? Do we consider a high auditor somebody who goes to the government-sanctioned drug dealer and gets those little pills and eats those pills and gets high off of those pills? Are we considering
even if it's
illegal drugs?
Look. Even if the dude's a freaking meth head or something, right? As long as that person does their job the right way and composes themselves good on camera and makes us proud of what he's doing, whatever that person's sickness is, that's on them, dude. I don't care about what this person's on this or this person's doing that or this person's an alcoholic or that. Like, why should that be a thing? As long as you're not making an embarrassment of yourself. I mean, even if you're making an embarrassment of yourself, that's on you. I mean, that's another thing that's on you. But like, what do I think about it? Like, to each his own. Like, as long, like, nobody governs this shit. Like, there can be high people. There can be people that do it on a handstand. There can be people that do it on a unicycle. Why they're so worried
about what we do with our lives. Maybe they should pay more.
Whatever an adult wants to do with his own life, as long as he's not hurting me or damaging my property or trespassing.
Right.
To each his own, man. To each his own.
Yeah, as long as you're not infringing or doing something, dude. As long as you're not doing something, like the only thing you can do bad to make the auditing community look bad is something very radical. You know, I'm saying, like, if you feel like that person needs to be cussed out here and there.
You mean like if the trans person that was on the Steven Crowder stream about something, I think trans rights or something, and if you were an auditor and they started throwing lunch boxes at him and stuff, that would be egregious, right, Wolfie?
Man, yeah. Well, start throwing lunch boxes at people. Yeah, that would be egregious.
Yeah,
but I'm saying like, as long as like, I don't even want to say it because it would give like the trolls a great idea to go out there.
They anybody who's with it knows what you're saying.
Let me act like I'm an auditor and then go out and do some radical shit and then make it the headlines be that the First Amendment audits are, you know, all connected to this person who, you know,
here,
did
let me rephrase this on how this is going, because this is going against auditors and what auditors are doing and stuff like that. Auditors are going out and making sure that the money that they pay in taxes is being spent correctly and not being used and abused. How about, does a high government official affect other government officials? Is it okay for a government official to be high? Because government officials do get high. Government officials do drink. Government officials do abuse drugs. Government officials do things. I just did a video on one the other day that worked for the sheriff's office here, and he worked in the property department, and he was breaking into somebody's house that he knew, and he was stealing her prescribed medications so that he could abuse those. So
how high is Nancy Pelosi?
no Kiwi. No, a high auditor does not affect other auditors' efforts.
But I would like to know.
Question.
I would like to know that. Do you think that it goes the other way? Because you seem to be focusing on the auditors instead of the actual government that we need to be focusing on. That's the issue.
Does a high government official affect how the government should be viewed? Pono Kiwi, what's your answer for that? That's a good one. Thank you for eyes.
I'll continue my story now while you guys wait for the from the trolls. But anyway, listen, I've had a lot of really bad stuff happen to me in my life because, as you guys can very well tell, I have a very strong personality, and if somebody says, you step back right now, or I'm going to make you, I'll go, can you please try? Because I would really like you to put your hands anywhere within my vicinity, because that would probably not turn out very well for either one of us, but probably way worse for you. Because I'm not the type of guy that plays games, right? Like, if I see any of you guys doing stupid stuff, I'm going to be the first one to go, you really need to do that? Anyway, my point is approximately 2.5 or so years ago, like, I'm a shadow. Up until 3 weeks ago, I was a shadow on the internet. I literally, you guys would actually know who I am if I hadn't have changed my name 3 weeks ago before I started doing this. Well, maybe a little more than that. Maybe about 4 weeks ago. I changed my name. You could find my name if you go back to my City Hall meeting, because I say it, because I'm not hiding, but I just don't really want it to be that out there. But anyway, my point is, I've commented on many hundreds of your videos, all of you guys. I just never took part. But 2.5 years ago.
What's your name?
My real name?
No, the other name, the commenter name.
Well, no, see, because I changed it to 10th Man.
Yeah, what was the other one? You're a known supporter of everybody?
That's my actual name.
It was your actual name.
That's what I'm saying, is I was just
what's it? Is there a first initial?
S.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, man. Fuck, I don't know.
Anyway, you guys would know who I am. But don't even worry about it. I don't need to prove myself. But my point is
there an M somewhere too?
Nope.
Oh no. Okay, that's not that one then.
All right, I'm just gonna say it because everybody. I don't really even care. I don't break the law, so I don't care. My name is Stephen Greek.
Okay.
And I've been commenting on your guys' videos for years, right? And I just sat back, and I've always been very supportive. And I attack people if they came at you guys. If you did anything wrong, I said something. But my point is 2.5 years ago, I called the SPCA because there was a bunch of sick cats, and one of my co-workers, mine and my husband, see, me and my husband worked together, and we came home at 3 o'clock in the morning for a bank. So one of my co-workers took one of the cats to the vet because it was very sick and had pus dripping out of its eyes and stuff. And this is in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia. And
Nova Scotia, I wanted to always go there too. Is it nice?
Yeah. No, sometimes in the fall, in the summer. But anyway, So one Saturday morning, after we came home at 3 a.m., he was going to call the SPCA, which is the animal welfare people. I don't know if you guys have that there, but I said, I'm going to give them a call. It was like 11 a.m. He was still asleep. I said, I'm just going to give them a call so he doesn't have to, right? So I gave them a call, and I'm like, listen, this is my name and phone number and address because I'm not calling. I don't want you guys thinking that this is a nuisance call of some neighbor. I don't know anybody here. I don't know whose cats these are, but we got a lot of sick cats. There was at least 30 different cats, right? And some of them were getting pretty sick, and it was upsetting my husband. So I gave them all my information, and less than 2 weeks later, I got a business card under my door, and I just threw it on my desk and went and played World of Tanks because he said, call me, written on the back of it. Call me, he said. So I just ignored it, and then another week and a half, 2 weeks later, I come home from a town that's an hour and a half away because we're out shopping, and there's this notice taped to my door. It says, if you don't call me, you'll be charged with Section 18B of the Animal Protection Act or something like that. So I'm like, what? So I called the SPCA agent, and he goes, yeah, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, all right. Well, I'm on the phone with you. And he's like, no, I need to talk to you in person. And I'm like, no, we can talk on the phone. And he goes, no, I'm telling you, you either speak with me in person or I'm going to have you charged with that part of that act. And I'm going to be more mean right now. You guys are going to see a side of me that most people don't get to see. But this is what I explained to the gentleman, quite simply. Come at me, motherfucker. I fucking dare you. I fucking dare you to come at me because I will fucking haunt you for the rest of your fucking life. Every day of your life, you're going to wonder when the next piece of paper comes across your fucking desk. You come at me making a fucking complaint to the SPCA, and I assure you, I will make the rest of your life a living fucking hell. And now every single day, and then he showed up with the cops with the fine, and I went to court and they dismissed it. And now every 3 to 4 weeks, I send emails to every government representative. I will haunt him for the rest of his fucking life. He came at me, and I fucking warned him. You come at me, bitch, I will fucking haunt you. I will haunt you like the worst poltergeist you ever fucking seen, and I never fucking stop. You come at me, and I will fucking destroy your self-worth.
We're all about generating income, bro. That's all it is.
You come at me? No. See, listen, I'm really nice to you guys. You guys are doing something I respect. But if you come at me in any way, I told the cops the last time they showed up here, you come to my home again, and I will take your fucking pension. I will take every one of you through civil court for the rest of my fucking life. Ain't no bitch come at me because I got nothing but fucking time and I got nothing to lose.
Over some cats? That's crazy. Like they're coming at you over some cats?
Oh, no, but it's all over with now. The judge said case dismissed, and I walked away, and now I'm going to haunt him for the rest of his life. Most people would say, but what would you make such a big deal out of that for? You fucking come at me, buddy boy. I fucking dare you. I warned him. I said, I fucking dare you.
You should just go there and record them every day, coming in and out. That's what I would do.
What's that?
Go there and record their office.
I don't even live in that city anymore. No. I'm saying, no, he's being investigated. Don't worry. I'm just saying, I'm very methodical. When I went to the courthouse and they asked me for ID.
Hire a PI, see who he's cheating on. You know what I'm saying? Go in there. Get in there.
Oh, trust me, buddy. Just
Sounds
trust
like you want to. It sounds like you want to. See me?
I
would
can't
just leave it alone after I prove them wrong. I'd just walk away with the walk of glory. Like that's how I do.
No.
I'll just do like the Conor McGregor walk and shit. Like, yeah, I'll beat you. I'm moving on. Get an ice cream. You know what I'm saying?
Walk of glory.
I set my
glory.
automatically resend the emails every 3.5 weeks.
That's how I do that shit, yo. I'll be like, yeah, I beat you. Walk of glory, you know? And then I'll go out and get a McFlurry or I'll go out. I'll do it up. I'll go to a custard stand, get a nice like milkshake or something, and just be like, yeah, stupid people.
Watch
to get me on some stupid shit. And just enjoy my milkshake.
Yo.
Like, that's how I am. But everybody's different.
Yeah, sometimes I get angry.
Yeah, I laugh at everything, dude. Like I laugh at people violating. Like, look, other people get furious. Like I see comments like, when he did this, like I'm furious. I don't know how the hell you could keep your composure. Like I wanted to laugh.
True.
Like when I watch these videos and I see these people violating rights, I giggle because, and you know, I need to do more of it and just laugh in people's faces every time they say something stupid and just have a good time with it. Maybe get a little bit toasty, you know. Go out there and laugh a little bit at these people.
It was hard to keep my composure with that one guy from the health department. He was screaming in my face. He was probably like this far from my nose. Like,
human behavior.
Kick your ass if I see this anywhere. I'll fucking. I'm like, oh my god, dude, what is your problem? I wasn't even.
How could you not laugh at that? Yeah, like,
I know I did.
Good.
When I
he would have punched you in the face if you would have laughed at him, probably.
I mean, I was snickering and kind of chuckling at him under my breath. But then when I went over to the supervisor and I was talking to him, I'm like, I haven't even spoken to this guy. You've seen this. And he's like, yeah, we understand. We're sorry. And the supervisor was pretty cordial about it, I guess is the best way to say it.
The guy over at the prison, the state prison in Trenton, New Jersey, I was there with Southeastern PA. He goes, he's so mad because we came back and called them out about their little truck thing that they had going up and down the street. They're extorting trucks that make a left onto the street, and it's fucked up. And we saw another truck coming back the other way, so we're like, whoa, wait about this. What about this? Well, the one guy sees us from all the way down the street. He's like, that's a local delivery. And he comes up, we already talked to him. Like they talk to every fucking truck driver.
Yeah.
Like you talk to every fucking truck driver for real. Like if you're really doing that, it's really fucked up. Anyway, fucking we call him out on the BS, and the other dudes sees Southeastern PA wears this like on a lanyard like a press pass that says official press pass, and that's all it says, you know. And he goes, "Who issued you your press pass?" And then Southeastern PA is like, "Who issued you your uniform?" And he goes, the state of New Jersey did. And he goes, the United States Constitution issued my press pass. And then he goes, oh yeah? And he's like, yeah. And then he looks at his sergeant and goes, is there a statute for that governs press passes? And the sergeant even laughed. And I'm laughing. I'm Joe Cool in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it was so early. I was all toasty, nice feeling. Fucking, I'm laughing the whole time. The fucking sergeant's laughing at the guy. The sergeant wouldn't make eye contact with the guy that was asking him. The guy that was asking him was trying to make eye contact the whole time with the sergeant, but which wouldn't make eye contact back with him. Was it looking down at the buttons on his shirt and looking at us and not looking at him and laughing and saying, no. All right, guys, have a good day. But dude, to see that stupid shit, is there a statute to try to hem you up? Because he's wearing something that says official press pass, he was trying to give him a charge. Like, what? And Southeastern PA was really pissed at the guy. I was laughing. I felt kind of bad when I was like, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. You're all upset. I thought he was a joke, you know.
See, I take all of this much more serious than most people, just because I know I have a limited amount of time on this planet. You're very young, Wolfie. That's very obvious. And
I'm not very young. How old are you?
Early 40s.
So
40s? Yeah, I'm almost 40.
You don't look 40, but anyway.
Oh, I'm not 40 yet. I'm late 30s.
He's climbing that hill.
I'm just saying, man, I take this stuff very, very seriously, much more seriously than most people. You guys probably haven't even ever watched one of my videos, which is perfectly fine. I'm not doing it for my own good. I'm doing it for the world. But
yes,
I take this very, very, very seriously.
Good night, asshole wife.
That's what got me into trouble on Jeff's channel, because like I'm a very steadfast
in the house. Yeah, man, I'm doing it because I need to inspect what the hell's going on. I'm gonna walk in there. I'm gonna record. You're gonna do whatever you're gonna do to me.
Yep.
I will fight you until I can get you to admit that you're going to use violence against me, and I will disseminate that information to the public.
To everybody I can.
And I'm not out there like put my wrist together, lock me up. Like, dude, it's not going to change in my lifetime. I respect the people that really do that. Like, I respect.
Oh, it's going to change in my lifetime.
Grant's out there. He's like putting together case law left and right and shit. And there's other people that do it, like the Patu side, man. Awesome, bro. I love the Patu side.
We're starting a rights violator registry, just like the child predators.
I know that all
employees need to be checked on and checked on often.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because their supervisors aren't supervising them correctly.
Nope.
So we gotta do some backup babysitting.
If you had a babysitter, the only one babysitting company in the whole country, right? Or maybe like 3, and that babysitting company had a whole lot of people that hurt your kids. Are you gonna set up nanny cams? I fucking think so.
Right.
I've been saying this since like the first time. Around the first time, I think I mentioned it to Rogue Nation the first time we went out. It's just like, I feel like there should at least be one person in every county. And that's considering the one person has a car and can get around all the places. But Joe Cool is up in here.
Noli D's posted up some music jams if anybody wants to partake in Indian folk metal.
Having somebody in every county though is hard because there's a lot of people afraid to go and do what we do. They're scared.
It's just cute because people think that I'm not an auditor. I just haven't released everything that I have.
Yep.
Most of it's, you know what I mean? I lost most of my data when I left my previous spouse a long time ago because they reported my phone stolen, and I lost everything on my Google account.
What up, Joe Cool? Hey, did you title this Eyes on the State that it's like an auditors only party anyway? It just said chat with Bang.
No, that's what it was originally.
I didn't think
in the house.
There was
Here, we'll change it.
Well, no, I'm saying I didn't think that there was a prerequisite to get in here. Like,
nope.
You know what I mean?
There, I'll save it. It's hopefully as long as this works correctly.
You have to have real ID to come into this room.
Yeah,
you gotta have a press pass.
If you don't have
to scan it,
you gotta get up out of here.
Yeah, I need to scan the ID and send it into my third-party, processor to make sure it's okay.
The fusion.
It has to be real ID.
Yep. I can't get tobacco products at Walgreens without giving up my ID.
Yeah, I don't know if I can edit the title while it's playing right now or not. I don't think I can. I tried.
The only person I ID to is the bouncer at the club. That's the only person I ID to, officer.
No, literally, I can't. One more time. I go in the same Walgreens every at least 3-4 times a week, and every single time they have to take my ID physically and scan it.
All right, let's.
Because they can't read,
They
right?
scan your ID.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because in this day and age, people can't read.
Yup,
What
in
are
this
you
day and
talking
age.
about?
Well, they got stuff like that, and they have the fact that, you know, like the sheriff's offices and places where I live send their explorers in to buy alcohol,
Solo.
underage. So you have all these, you know, private businesses that are like scared to sell alcohol without physical, like it's real shit. You have to make sure. And now they just raised the age to 21 to buy cigarettes and stuff out here. So
SoloYaker, you're a troublemaker.
what's up, Solo?
And I like to say what's up to all my fellow frauditors while I can. For any trolls out there. Frauditor salute.
Just me.
Let's see if I can change that title still now. Yep, I can. Okay.
See. Yeah, the
Fully
fully
automatic
automatic camera
That's beautiful.
really does come through in handy. It shoots off at the frame rate. I mean, how could you defend yourself from your lies at the frame rate that I'm shooting you with? I'm just catching it all. I'm like, zoom. I'm just hitting you with Dragon Balls or something.
You must be a security guard.
Security guards are the best because they're only there to support, to report any instance.
And beat up blind people.
But they come out and do the stupidest shit time and time again, where they think they can put their hands on people. And
I'm telling you, you might see blind justice actually testify in front of Congress or something. You can't go beating up blind people in a healthcare facility. That's just not something that can happen.
Yeah, I hope he really fucking gets justice towards the end of that.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's some fucked up shit, y'all. That video.
Mono Kiwi's been like for the past like 20 minutes or something, just on addiction. Like what's the big deal with drugs and addiction, and what are you trying to get us to say here?
Don't pay attention to the children.
Oh, this person keeps on saying it. Our auditor is high. It's high auditors affecting the community. This is one of those trolls that's trying to create a narrative here in the chat.
Eyes on the state. I apologize if I am repeating myself.
Really.
But about 8 or so years ago, did I already tell this story on here tonight? That I was beat up by 5 commissionaires, which were essentially security guards, in an emergency room while I was vomiting blood because the antibiotics they gave me tore the lining of my stomach after I had my wisdom teeth taken out. And I wanted to leave and be discharged to the private clinic, but they said, no, I can't leave because I've been triaged. So they actually, one of the commissionaires came and grabbed me by my throat and pushed me back and said, calm down. And I was severely dehydrated. So I grabbed him and I pushed him backwards and stood up, and I had 5 guys beating on me on the ground, and they wrapped my jacket around my throat. And then 2 cops came and they put cuffs on me with a taser to my back, and then took me into a small little room with a doctor who gave me 2 ibuprofen and a drink of water, and then they discharged me. So that's one of the reasons why I'm here.
I don't blame you for that, then.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah. That's what happens to a lot of people everywhere.
But these people don't understand that. Children who are idiots that do not, like, I have been through a lot of terrible, terrible things in my life, and I never had an outlet, and I kind of hid from the world. But I'm done hiding. I'm over halfway through my life, so I don't care anymore. And I'm going to start actually coming out and telling people what's going on. And I understand I live in a different country than you guys, but it doesn't matter. They're beating up disabled people. First, what they do.
That's why we have to record everything.
Yep.
Yes.
We have to record everything. That's why we do it.
I wish that somebody was there with a camera that day and recorded that happening, because I fought for 3 years to try to get a copy of the video, and they just outright refused.
Yeah, man. They'll do it sometimes. They'll say, the camera wasn't properly working that day, or through
Epstein,
this time, or the battery ran
the
out.
guards were asleep
Yeah, that's how can they be asleep? How can none of the cameras work in the building?
because they pumped some gas in there to put them to sleep.
Yeah, a little bit in the coffee. There we go. Into the air system. Anyway,
I don't believe there were any guards there.
At least they had cameras in that building. Shit, I was just that
I'm
one that
just
has
saying.
none.
If we don't have cameras to record these, look at that. Look at those people that are being dumped into the parking lot of hospitals. Like it happened.
Don't go there. Not true.
No, the army general.
Hmm?
There was an army general
Okay.
who was dumped into a VA hospital parking lot and he died.
No, that is true.
I'm just saying, man. This is
There was
happening.
other shit. I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There was other shit where it doesn't make any of us look good.
I don't know. I pay attention. There's a guy named
They
Tim.
dump people all the time from hospitals. I know exactly what you're talking about, man. I'm with you with that. It's terrible.
I follow a guy named Tim Pool, and he's got like 750,000 subscribers or more, and he vets. He used to work for Vice News, and he used to be with Greenpeace, and he kind of went on his own, and he vets all of his news very, very thoroughly. He's actually the reason. He was the guy who had that Twitter meeting on Joe Rogan, right? And so I follow him and I cross-reference stuff, right, to make sure that what I'm talking about is correct. But I'm just saying, there's stuff happening that no one's even privy to because they're being lied to. See, they are right about the YouTube algorithm. The way that it works is it just feeds you what you want. So if you just always, I thumbs up stuff sometimes that I don't completely agree with because I agree with the way that they did it.
Yep.
It's fair game, man. Like thumbs ups and thumbs downs and shit, they all count as thumbs ups on your video. There's nothing more than what America loves nothing more than a polarizing story.
Yes.
Where half the people hate it. So it's the same thing. Like it's like with like Donald Trump. Like I don't know. I mean, look, the way I always think, and maybe it's just me, but the government decides who they want to come in to do their little thing, their little 4-year, 8-year system and shit. And like we think we have a choice. We think we're doing something for a change. Whatever. You know what I mean? All these people vote from everywhere and it all gets counted correct and blah blah blah. And we just think it just happens. That's how I think. Whatever. But what better president to have than a villain that like when the government can, like I say the government, I'm not saying the administration, I'm not saying anything, I'm saying government like deep, can say, all right, we want to do this and we want to do that, and then the face and his administration face the consequences for everything that the government does. And they're just like, the spokesperson walks out and explains why this went wrong or that went wrong. Like, oh, the plant blew up because we didn't see something going on with the pipe or something so you got the villain, Donald Trump, right? Now say like he gets reelected somehow or whatever. I wish at this point, because I don't believe in any of these slave masters, I think it's all a joke anyway. I wish they would just get rid of him. And I want to see if they treat the next president with the same, disdain and like microscope that they did with Trump, which I know they won't.
They won't.
Because he was a villain coming in. He was a villain, grab you by the pussy before he was even president,
Yep.
Like, they loved it. The government loved it. So like, but when the shit hits the fan, they want you to be like, here, we're the government. We're going to help you from Donald Trump. Take our hand, And you're going to be like, oh, thank you. Oh, I should have known he was a scumbag. Everybody said it, And then you go right up to the gas chamber. And that's in my mind. That's the end. Yeah. But whatever. And like it might sound like some tinfoil hat wearing shit, you know. But I don't see any other reason why you would invite a villain to be the president, and you already know he's going to be a nationwide villain.
Unless you've got some other ulterior motive behind it.
I'm not anti-Trump. I don't care. Yeah, sometimes he's stupid. Sometimes he's smart. I see the goods and bads in everybody and everything.
Trump is actually a moderate compared to what
But
I
he's
would.
a president. He's a president, though, so I don't trust him. I don't trust any presidents. You know? What he's doing, he ain't affecting my life day to day and shit. When that happens, I'll be upset but I've always understood it ain't him that's affecting my life. It wasn't Bill Clinton that was affecting my life. Oh, because Bill Clinton was there when the government was doing good. Bill Clinton was a good president. Whatever, because the housing community did well or whatever the government was doing, whatever switches was going on. I don't, you know what I mean? All that shit is jargon to me. I don't even mess with it, you know? And I hate it. Look, see people in the comments like 2020 and shit. Like everybody tries to say, "Oh, Bill Clinton's so cool because he got his dick sucked under the fucking desk of the White House." Like, I would have loved to got that shit on camera. You know what I'm saying? But like, look at this motherfucker getting his dick sucked under his desk. He's the president.
Probably is on camera somewhere. There's probably a camera in there somewhere that it's on.
Look, now is he representing America well by getting his dick sucked under the desk? Oh yeah, it's all cool. It's cool for a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck yeah, get your dick sucked, man. That shit feel good, bro. You know what I'm saying? But dude, you're fucking getting your dick sucked, and we're paying you federal, or we're probably not paying them shit because I don't even know how the damn money system works anymore with everything. But really, but we're supposed to look up to you, and you're getting your dick sucked under the desk, dude. How unprofessional are you? Like, are you like the worst? Like for real? Like think about it, you know? Like as a man, you can be like, yeah, who can turn down a BJ or something, but no, man, that's just unacceptable. Unacceptable behavior and shit. And people pride him for that.
Sorry, I went to go to the bathroom. You were saying something about a BJ. Continue.
People call him the first black president and shit. Like people still call him that, you know. But what makes it? And that's just racist as hell. But what makes it so cool that you're getting a BJ under a desk, yo? That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it doesn't. SoloYaker.
I was gonna say we're living that life right now.
Living the dream. And I don't mean to cut y'all off, but I really do have a serious question. It's not even a question. We're just going to stick to hypotheticals right now. So let's just say, not me, like a buddy of mine, he has a, he may or may not have a recording of a song. We're talking about a buddy of mine, and he told me his story, and he was explaining to me that he may have audio from a sit-down meeting from a congressman, and he doesn't know if he can publish it. And I said, under like the Smith v. Cummings, I know that it works for state, but I don't know about federal. You know what I mean? And I couldn't.
Have this conversation.
Huh?
Yeah, where did he have it?
Was it in the?
Where did he have the conversation? Where?
Behind closed doors?
I believe it was at his office. I don't know if it was in I don't know if it was the office or what. I just know that he was in it, and he was audio recording in his pocket. He understood people told him about the wiretap.
What thing?
Yes.
I want to say
if there's
Florida,
stuff that's
Florida. It's a representative of Florida, and it happened, I think, in Florida, but I don't know.
Florida is a two-party consent state, so if you're behind closed doors, you have to have permission.
Yes.
Just to record, let alone disseminating that information.
Yes. Now, if there wasn't a reasonable expectation of privacy, like if his office door was opened and anybody could walk in at any point in time and hear the conversation, it may be disputable that there is no reasonable expectation of that conversation being private at that point.
I don't think so, though.
No? Okay.
No, I don't think
Here's
so.
the
Just
problem.
because it's in that office, that is, there's no, like you it's closed doors, like in that office is
I think if it's in public,
like a bedroom.
then you're good. But here's the thing with like even when it comes to me wanting to do phone audits,
Public dime. He's all. He is.
see,
He's
and
with public dime.
him being a public official,
Yeah, but
and
that's
in
what I was telling
capacity.
him.
Yeah, I don't know. Just see, here's another thing too with me when it comes to disseminating like phone audits and stuff like that. That's like I could say that I'm recording at the beginning of the call, but then they go to like putting you on hold and transferring you to people and stuff like that. You got to try to remember to like say it to every person you talk to. You know what I mean? So that's where I get tripped up sometimes.
Yeah.
But
That's why I'm trying to get Lathos involved in all this.
yeah, I think that if they're
It's a touchy one. I explained to him like I don't know, man.
I think that if
think
they're you know, in their official capacity performing their duty and that you should be able to at least record it. I don't disseminating or like, you know, publishing it might be a different story.
So in Florida, you definitely have to tell them that you're recording when you call a public, like, capacity. If you're calling City Hall, you have to tell them, I'm recording this call. I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Are you asking? Or
Even that one,
Like, that would
even
be
that was up for
wiretapping if you didn't
interpretation.
tell them?
are you asking a question?
It wasn't me.
Yeah,
I'm letting you know that I know somebody. I know the politician. He went. I'm trying not to say, but I know there was a representative, and I guess he had a meeting or some office. Then he began asking me, you know, what are the legalities of this, and I was just like, because when you do it, even if I was to walk into City Hall, technically it can be audio recording just to have an audio on my T-shirt and video recording. If they take my camera,
a restricted area,
I'm still within the law. At that point, I mean, regardless how you look at it, as I walk into a City Hall.
A restricted area and City Hall lobby are two different things. You know what I'm saying? So his office, he went to an office with a guy. That's a trusted room.
It's a public office. Like anybody can go to the office, but I guess he had a. Yeah.
Okay.
That's. It really sucks, man. I hate my Ethernet when it goes in.
I'm trying to look up the wiretapping law here.
Now, I know that every time you call any government agency or anything like that, the very first thing that it tells you,
the Florida wiretapping law, also known as the
is
one that requires that all parties involved.
Like, whenever you call a government office, the very first thing it tells you when you call pretty much is this call is being recorded.
Right.
So by you staying on the phone, you're giving your consent.
There's a really easy way around all of that.
Right. Yeah.
All you have to do.
But they have to do it for us because they're dealing with personal information.
Just edit it in a way where the voice of the person who is the auditor, their voice is harmonized so you can't tell who their voice is. Block out their name and just say, this is the phone call that I had with this government official. There's no way they could ever prove beyond a reasonable doubt in the court of law that it applied to a specific person unless they also had a recording to it, and then they would also have to release that recording. So it depends on how damning it is and how much that guy is actually willing to fight.
Yeah, no, and that's what I told him. I was like, because if you do in federal law, that's you know.
I mean, if they're talking about loading people on trains, you know, it depends on how egregious this thing is, right?
Slip, but you know, I haven't heard it. I've just been told about it, and I'm like, for right now, I don't want nothing to do with it. But you know, we'll deal with it.
You've never met me, sir.
Yeah, I'm like,
But
at this point, I'm like,
and he's
I'm
heard
like,
my training.
I don't think it was that bad, but he did say that there was some stuff in there that interesting, to say the least. But yeah, Orlando Transparent. I've talked to him for many times. So whoever did that, yeah, Orlando Voice Transparency, really cool guy. He went through some shit.
Yes.
Oh, I was like,
again.
oh my god! I was like, I felt it, and I'm like 2 hours away, and I was ready to just jump in the car, grab the rifle, and go to say, hey, let's go walk around friggin' Orange County and friggin' Pond.
Oh my god, I recognize you now. I didn't even know who you were. See, because I never even paid attention to who was who, because I used to just play it all in full screen for years. I remember you because you're a Second Amendment guy. You guys are my favorite.
Oh yeah, a second turning into a first. I've been doing a lot more going
SoloYaker, man.
Yes, you have.
Much respect, man.
I hung out with Rogue Nation and James Madison one time, and the bug was set, and I was like, oh, all right.
It's awesome, dude. Like, I couldn't imagine. Like, I'm in New Jersey, where you can't have a gun on your hip unless you have like a state license for it. You know, like, and like the laws are like you have to have it locked in your trunk in a box, and your ammo has to be locked in a separate box, and you can't stop anywhere between your destination and your home. And dude, it's like really unconstitutional here when it comes to firearms.
Oh man, I couldn't imagine. You know,
and imagine people coming up and go, get your ass on the ground and all that shit because you have a gun on your back and you're not even touching it. Like, man. Props to all you guys that do that shit, man, for real.
Yeah, and you know something? If I lived, I don't really like cold too much, but are willing to start fighting back, and unfortunately, as a politician trying to be it's not that I want to, but that's the only. I mean, you can audit all you want. You can do whatever you want. Way to make at that, you know, you can do that. But the only way to make changes and to keep the rights is to have. I'm not saying any one of us, but somebody has to make that move to make a difference, you know. And
Jeff, I want Jeff to be president.
Yeah, but you know, I'm a big firm believer of less government. I mean, you know,
less is better.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of places that our government are overreaching on a lot of things, and we see that.
A lot of ways to tag
you see it more firsthand, but there's overreach levels, and we are all standing up. I mean, it doesn't matter first, second, whatever. We all stand up for one thing, and that's our liberties. Our God-given rights are at jeopardy right now because they're throwing them up like they're just, oh, it's just willy-nilly. Let's change this where they can't record our public officials, and that's going to be like, they can do whatever they want now, you know. So, and that's on both sides.
What they're doing in Trenton is they won't let you. They don't care about the camera, and they're doing it in Philly too, in the federal buildings. We don't mind your camera. It's like you have to give us your ID when you go through the metal detector, and it's like, wait a minute, no. Searching me and seeing that I have no weapons isn't enough. How's my ID going to make you feel any more safer than that? I don't get it.
I proved with my little thing that I put up there that they don't ask you for your ID if you're not holding a camera. And then if you even ask about recording, then they start asking you for ID and telling you ID or the door. See, that's why I did that, because I wanted to prove a point. I'm going to pick apart each little thing and then I send to all my government officials, including that guy's superiors, the fact that these are the two laws that he actually breached. Can you please explain to me why? And then I made a YouTube video with the recording of the guy being aggressive And I also have the recording of the sheriff's office saying that the reason that I can't record in there is a secret. He said it's internal policy and I can't show that to you.
And
it's a secret. Well, a public records request that secret, please, because it's no longer a secret.
I'm just saying it's foolish because I wasn't even trying to do an audit. I had actual business I had to conduct at that courthouse. And I just asked them about what would happen if I wanted to take like some pictures or video of the artwork in here and stuff. And he's like, you're not allowed to. And I'm like, where's it written down? And he said, I don't have the act here. You'd have to look it up. And then I said, well, do you have a public information officer or something? And literally as those words were, and then he goes, and I was like, well, I need to see it. Am I just supposed to believe what you're saying? And as I was saying that, he goes, can I see your ID? And then it just got worse and worse. And it's like, hold on. I was only just asking you about filming. I don't understand the problem, but that's because so many audits I've seen them say, hey, if you just asked first, then we wouldn't have a problem with it. Well, it appears they do.
Well, that defeats the purpose of a, what would we call it? Well, an audit, but, that defeats the purpose of, a sneak attack pretty much. Like, I'm going to come in here when you least expect it and see how things are being handled in here. So,
and that's what I did.
Hey, let me call you a week ahead of time so everybody can straighten their shit up and it can look perfect. Like, no, we want to see how things normally operate. I don't get it. Ask ahead of time. Stupid.
And then when I said, it doesn't make any sense, and he's like, well, it's a security issue. He said, what's that saying you said earlier, Whoopi? I always get it wrong, like the day and times, or what's it called?
Oh, this day and age?
This day and age.
That's what he said.
I always say when people ask me, I say I do it for quality assurance purposes.
Yep.
He said on the phone, he goes, well, in this day and age, and I go, what do you mean by this day and age? And he goes, well, I don't want to have that discussion with you. I'm like, no, really, like, what's happening in this day and age? And then I called my government officials and I lost my mind at them. And I'm like, am I a terrorist because I asked about recording? Like, I'm very confused here that I didn't do anything. I went there to do something. And then all of a sudden I got someone telling me that I need to ID because I'm acting abnormal. And it's like, am I a terrorist just because I asked about this? It's a very odd thing. And
this day and age, people need to not be so tight in the ass. Like, come on, loosen the fuck up and be a good person.
That's what I've been telling you, Jose, for weeks.
A lot of that, this day and age, actually stems from 9/11.
Yes.
Ever since then, there's some kind of act where they almost put that suspicion on you because you're outside of a building on a public sidewalk recording, and they've used that and they've kept it going for almost 20 years.
Yeah, like we're a homeland security risk or some shit. Like,
I get it too. Like, they're like, oh, all these shootings. I'm like, but I'm not hurting nobody.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. And then I've had them actually say, oh, what, we're supposed to wait until you shoot somebody? I'm like, no, you're supposed to. If you're that concerned, just watch them. Don't leave them if you're concerned. But if you got a guy with a fishing pole and an American flag and a "Don't Tread on Me" flag, and he's walking around and he looks like he's going fishing, he's probably going fishing. I mean, criminals aren't. I mean,
there's a Second Amendment activist that lives down the street from me. You probably saw him on the news. He was on like all sorts of shit for a picture that with his little son with the gun in his hand. And like inside a dish shit and all sorts of shit was coming after him for that shit. His name's Sean Moore.
Oh yeah.
He's
I think I heard that.
Big Second Amendment guy. He's certified to have his gun here, which is rare in New Jersey. So they're like, "What the fuck?" With this guy. So
yeah, like one of the
crazy.
people in the chat there is bringing up the fact about what Snowden brought out into the light about how much we're surveilled. And all of our information kept and everything, right? But they're so worried about us going into a government office or a courthouse with a video recorder. It's like, oh, it's security, and it's like, listen, you got like 4 sheriffs there, and you guys got handguns. If anybody actually wanted to come in here and do something and they had 20 to 50 people, you're not going to do anything anyway. So what you're saying is absolutely stupid. All you're doing is riding the power tyranny train. That's all you're doing.
No, and you know what? I saw a Freeman video a while ago, which makes so much sense, dude. And it's dark to talk about, but like he goes in and he goes through and the metal detector and the X-ray machine and all the whatever they put all your shit through, and then they make sure that you don't have any guns in there. And now there's only like 2 security guys that are probably not very well trained if somebody wants to ambush the place. Now, if somebody ambushes that place, there's what do you got? 150 people in that courthouse that have no guns on them, and all he has to do is kill those 2 guys in the front, which he could do through the window, right? While they sit at the metal detector station and look at their phone, right? And then go in there and boom, 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 and it's fucked up. They're just making they were making everybody a sitting duck with this security bullshit. This shit won't go on. This shit only happens. These shootings only happen in gun-free zones and shit. Like,
It's true.
It is true. Like they, you're not allowed to have your gun here. They check you coming in here. So like, there'll be like a big shooting at Disney World. I wouldn't blame it. Somebody jumped the fence or does some shit, and just everybody can't come in with guns.
Or gets through.
Mow everybody down
To get through.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. That's all it takes is one person to get through somehow, some way, and then it's over. But like, if people were just allowed to be free Americans and protect themselves and each other, like this would never ever happen. Like, it's the same reason why we've never been invaded by another country, because we all know that we'll all drop our coffee or whatever and start fighting for the next man if some shit like that happened in front of us. We're at the 7-Eleven or the gas station, the Circle K or something, and we're getting a soft drink or coffee in the morning, and then all of a sudden terrorists came and invaded our country. We'd be fighting shoulder to shoulder with each other, and we'd whoop their fucking ass, and that's why it never happens. So why can't we have our guns to do the same thing against these fucking mass shooters and shit? It doesn't. I trust more Americans than I don't.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there, man, that you just don't know who they are, and that's why I carry. That's the number one reason. Unfortunately, sometimes when you do go out into unfortunately, I can't carry into a police station, but I can be surrounded by police that all have guns, and I can't have one. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, that restriction on the right to bear arms has just leached out. Now they're trying to do it in city halls, all types of other places where they, I'm not willing to risk any type of that yet, but like there is no legal bounds of them putting a sign that says no firearms unless there's a police department or some kind of courthouse attached to it. I could fight that one. I did that at Bryant. Like, when I went to Bryan, Mass. and had the police show up and they asked for my ID and I gave it up, I actually tested them because they have a no firearms sign, concealed weapons license, which doesn't have my address and all that other stuff or work to try to figure out who I was. But they didn't question if I had a firearm or not. And I'm supposed to be in an area that I'm not supposed to have a firearm. So, like, I don't agree with a lot of the restrictions. And, I hear that they're coming after a lot of them, with the courthouses for First Amendment. I mean, all it takes is a judge's injunction or something to that effect.
It's bullshit. They're doing it. They already started doing it everywhere.
Yeah. And like, obviously sometimes the courtroom, but if there's public access and people can walk in and out, they're allowed. That's just how it works. We built that on our sweat and blood, so we should be able to visit that anytime we want.
These judicial orders that are written up for courthouses, it's important to pay attention to what the judge uses to add his own narrative to it, because in Philadelphia, for the federal courthouses, Judge Juan R. Sanchez makes a ruling for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania that according to LCR, which is a local civil rule, it's not a law, but it's like, part of their code or whatever. LCR 83.3, and it talks about privacy of litigants and shit and people involved in the cases. And it says pretty much what LCR 83.3 says is that we can record anywhere in the courthouse that is 50 feet away from the elevator bays and not in components of the courthouse. For instance, the court clerk's office, that office. So it's really stating that when they say entrances, foyers, lobbies, and hallways, that's it. But all the shots that you can take have to be at least 50 feet away from the elevator bays to protect jury or litigants or whatever. So he uses that and then adds his own narrative and says all cameras must be locked in a bag upon entering a court, or locked or secured in a bag and turned off while in the courtroom, and are subject to search while entering, inside, or upon exiting the courtroom. And it's all bullshit because he's saying this is per 83.3, which I already explained what 83.3 was, which was like I said, you can film anywhere that's 50 feet away from the elevator bays and not in any of the offices of the courthouse.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and that shit can go to a higher court. I have to do that. I've been trying to do it. I've been trying to work with people. They don't call me back. I have to foot soldier the shit, So
yeah, if you've got time, man, go get your. If you really want to do a lot of people a lot of good, go become a lawyer, a civil rights lawyer, please.
Yep.
You don't really need a civil rights lawyer for us, man. The civil rights lawyers, man, around here, they only want to take up if you're being profiled, racially, sexually, if handicap issues or something.
Megajustice.com.
Yeah, they'll only take that shit. Dude, you could do this shit yourself just with a little advice from megajustice.com.
Megajustice.com. He's
I hear you, man.
Out of Tampa here.
Oh. Yeah, I've got a couple good ones, and I called them, and I'll tell you, the Second Amendment side is really rough.
They really don't care about us either. These civil rights lawyers, man.
They're not so. I've called ACLU. I've probably called over throughout the sun in Georgia.
If you're being discriminated against, gender wise or race wise or handicap wise, and they'll take that case as a slam dunk.
Not here, they won't.
If you're being discriminated against because you have a camera and you're recording the government, that they don't consider that discrimination. ACLU is not on our side, man. Fuck them, dude. Hate them.
There we go. Sorry, yeah, depositions suck, and I'll tell you, man, they're trying to paint me as a bad guy.
Have you talked?
I did nothing wrong.
Have you talked to Mega Justice? Have you talked to them?
I didn't. I don't think I talked to them directly, but I told them about the situation, what happened, and they said $5,000. And that would cover, I think, the first 10 hours of any type of litigation. It's just to have $5,000. Just I need to see what happens after.
Yeah.
I have a statute on at least 2 of my detainments. So, and one's only a year old, and the other one's probably about 6 months old. So there's time for me to go, but I think I will wait for the Miami to end before I do anything further, because that was one of the questions they asked me about that, and I was like, I don't have any other litigation, suit anybody, So, and it's just this is the only way we're going to hold people accountable. You know, I was lucky I got a lawyer, but it's been, I tell you, man, it's hard.
Certain ones hit you hard enough to where you like really want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really go hard on everybody. I do. I expect people to be confused and not understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, but some people go too far, and then you have to civilly sue. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's
for sure, man.
Most lawyers are afraid.
That's the hard thing is
that system.
Trying to deal with all the stuff. You know, like I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, but I want to hold them accountable. But it's like they pressure me on YouTube saying, "You better." You know.
Oh no! Don't worry about those people, dude.
Everybody wants to donate
those
money
are the
to
people
SoloYaker.
dude. Don't let anyone rent space in your head, dude. I've been through it, dude. Dude, I did this, and my 3rd month in, I made this video, and it got more than 250,000 views. It's almost up to 300,000 views and shit. And people rip me still to this day for that. People, because one simple thing, all I wanted to do to admit was I wasn't trespassing, and that he didn't want me recording the refinery, because I tried to go with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see him on the Title 18, you know what I mean, 242, something like that, you know, and see if I can get a lawyer, because I didn't like this guy, because I already had a thing with this guy. So I was like, that's good enough. Like, he's incriminated himself twice on my camera. Maybe I can have a case against this dude and get him out of. I don't even care about money. Anyway, that shit didn't work. I didn't know what I was doing then. If I would have known now, it would have been way better. But everybody ripped me to shreds for that. You know, you got to do this, or they do it on every video. You got to follow through. If you don't follow through, like, fuck you, dude. Like, you're telling me what to do. Like, you're telling another grown man what to do. That's what cops do, and you're being like a cop right now. So I don't care about what you're saying.
You got money for me, bro? Fucking I got a PayPal account. You're more than welcome to throw all that money that I'm gonna need for that. And I thought about saying, hey, look, guys, you know, I'm trying to do what I can do, but you know, I'm still in my chef jacket. I got out at midnight, and I've had just a rough day. You know, it's
I don't want everybody to lose their jobs. I'm not trying to sue everybody. Like, I have a very thick skin. You have to really hit a nerve or something for me to say I'm coming after you, which I'm doing to the guy in Harrison Township, and that all stems from the bad cop, which is being addressed, and it's all going to come out. But like, it takes, like, if I go out there and I sue everybody who violated me and my rights and shit, like, fucking, I wouldn't even have time to record people anymore. You know, I'd just be out there, you know, court to court to court. You know, people act like, oh, like you have all this time and shit, you know?
They expect you to be a social justice warrior auditor.
And it's like, look, first, when I came in this, this is some real shit right here. When I came in this, it was about respecting your right to record in public. It wasn't like we're supposed to be the First Amendment saviors. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we're practicing our First Amendment right to record, you know, our journey through the public buildings and shit, you know, and now I'm supposed to be the person that teaches a 60-year-old man and changes his mind about how he feels about the First Amendment. Like, I can't do that, dude. Like, I can't teach him how to play guitar either, you know? So, like, I don't know, like, they want you to feel bad, like you're doing something wrong. Like, it's a trick. It's a dirty trick in there. They come up with new shit every time, and I laugh. I'm like, oh, this is the new angle that they're all using together. But, like, the talking over each other thing is like a played out thing, too, because you have 3 channels there that are passionate about what they're doing. They're getting bullshit from somebody, and tensions flare, and people are talking. So what? We don't script this. It's not like we write it up like you talk now, SoloYaker talks after that, Eyes on the State talks after that, and then the 10th man. You know what I'm saying? Then we do that roundtable discussion. This isn't CNN scripted roundtable discussion.
But no, you're wrong. Listen to me. I have very important points to say. Listen.
Calm down, Como over there.
Yeah,
You
and
did a
yeah,
tweet
don't let
in
the commenters
2006
ever
that said
ever
that
get
you were completely diametrically opposed to the point that you're now saying that you are for. Explain it. Explain it to
Yo,
us, or we're gonna
my
hang
favorite.
you. We're gonna burn you. You're a
Yeah,
witch. You're a
my
witch.
favorite one is what you're doing in this video is you're making it worse for every auditor going forward in the future. You're making our community look bad and shit, right? Look, if look, making my community look bad, and I hate to say it, would be going around and just shooting everybody in the fucking head. And then it's all over the news that First Amendment auditors shoot people in the head.
Or like
That
when
would
the
make my
when the
fucking
old
community
lady
look
from
bad.
that, yeah,
Because I'm saying you are a disgrace and you are a coward because the cop is acting like a piece of shit. That's not making my community look bad. Making my community look bad would be going to the courthouse and burning it down or something, and doing
or like
something radical.
when the
You
60-year-old
know, get
lady
the fuck out of
puts
here
her
with
hand
your
in
shit.
your camera and you push her down on the ground, stuff like that. Maybe you don't do that. Yeah.
Like that shit works on like the other channels, the new ones that are fragile. They're like, oh my god, these people. But like this is like when you listen to like Eminem, like you think he's a crybaby and shit or something. I used to think he was a crybaby, but now I see that he speaks for like other people of public figure, of fame, and he talks about the trolls and the haters, and he expresses it in a way, and he speaks for them, and he speaks for anybody who creates something. And like I understood it after I started doing this shit, man. I never created shit and had a public audience before this, and there was a time where shit used to affect me, and then I went over that hump, and I realized, oh, this comes with it, and that's
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? That's it.
It's hard to deal with sometimes.
Yeah, welcome, man. Dude, I just started, and I'm not. I'm sure you've got them too, but those haters, those First Amendment, Second Amendment, like you guys are like, I didn't have too many. I had a couple here and there periodically, but lately, oh my gosh, dude, I'm like, what's going on? You know?
How about when you were down
Night,
in, I think you were in Fort Myers or right around the Fort Myers area out with
Naval,
yeah. When the provocateur came around.
Yeah.
That's
it was definitely interesting to say the least. He wasn't there for he wasn't there for us. He wasn't there for the Second Amendment side. That's what I could definitely say.
He was there for the first.
He was there for Andrew. He was there for Andrew Sheets, and he was there for Southwest Florida Oath Accountability. And,
correct. Yes.
And that was in like as a leader of Florida Carry. That's my job, is to kind of, you know, my eyes are going everywhere. I mean, I fish and whatever, but for the most part, I'm trying to just make sure. And when I saw him, I just had to try to keep.
Separate.
I just didn't need a fight. I just didn't. No, they could. I wanted them to have their discourse or whatever. I wasn't going to intervene, but I wanted it to be civil. And for the most part, he kept it civil. But then some of the people we were there with they were getting heated because this guy, you know, he was bugging Andrew Andrew Sheets and the other guy.
Yep.
And I'm just like, and there's nothing I can do. You know,
was that on the bridge?
Yeah, it's his right, but you know, it was just like,
no, they were on a pier. Yeah, it isn't.
Right.
You know, like we got a bunch of guns out here. You know, the police are here.
That's a worse time to do something like that. But it's,
you know, like, you know, the one thing I didn't need was something to happen because of that, because that would have made the organization like, oh, these guys are reckless, gunshot out on a public pier, everybody's freaking out, you know. But it worked out, and then, you know,
it did in the long run.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened to him. Like, he had a channel, but now it's like gone. Like,
well, I'm almost positive the group that you're having the most contention with right now, the bright colored shirts, have had a hand in that. Yep, I think they had a hand in that.
Yeah, dude, you want to know something?
It was right after that his videos came down.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, every video I put up gets demonetized instantly, and then I have to go through a review.
Mine too.
Everyone,
Mine
it's
too.
like it's up for 20 seconds. I go from YouTube, just to check them, make sure monetization's on, and it's just like, boom. I'm like,
yep.
Request review. I had the recent video I just put out twice. It went.
Really?
It got. I uploaded it, demonetized. Review. I think it took about 12 hours, 14 hours. It was accepted. And then today when I got out of work, it's right back on fucking, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that it's, I don't make a lot off of it, but 30,000 views in an hour or like in a day or whatever it was.
Yeah.
The CPM rate high as hell for that. And
Gotta get rid of the gun pictures. Any guns automatically.
It's
instantly.
It's so the AI.
They rob us. That's bullshit. Because like they were putting a hands-off approach on the COPPA Act forever with the Ryan's Toys reviews, and let's just let them exploit children. Like in 1998, they said that anybody couldn't do it on the internet, and we're just, people are using these channels to babysit their kids, and we're making mad money in ads doing it, and everybody's winning. And then fucking finally they got caught. They were like, oh, we didn't know we couldn't do that. Oh, this COPPA thing existed? Oh. The thing everybody tried to tell us about? Oh, we didn't think that was real. Okay, we'll settle out of court. And now they're like, everybody make sure that your shit's suitable for children or not. And it's like, come on, man. And now we're doing better, I think. Now that worked out a little bit more for us, because they were really like, during that lawsuit, things were getting choppy with our channels. Like they were kind of, red tagging our videos all the time. Like, they were afraid, man. And then once that shit all hit the fan and they did the settlement, they set the little thing in place. Like, is it suitable? Is it not? 13-year-olds and up can watch it. Now they were like, all right, cool. We can be a little bit more relaxed again.
But now, see, I've got all my videos marked as for adult use only, that they're not made for kids. In every video that I put up, pretty much, maybe one or two of them, in probably the last 3 months, they've demonetized immediately as soon as I put them up. Or yellow icon, which is demonetizing them basically.
Now, do you do like 18 and over?
Ad suitable.
Yeah.
Did you do 18 and over?
It should be. It says it's not made for children.
You want to know. The one is no. You do not.
Yeah.
It's not suitable for kids
the
unless
second one, like,
because the second is a cuss word in it, or
old and up. Yeah, if you do 18 and up, that makes every video demonetized.
I don't think any of them are that. I think it's just marked no, not for children.
Right. That's fine, and that helped me.
Yeah, no, like even some, like I've had a couple other videos that have been that were more like moms demand action type stuff, not so much. As soon as I bring a gun situation, usually, and that's a big thing. My live streams never get monetized, never. Mainly because of the words that I use. Gun day, fun day, and then we're always talking about guns and whatever. And dude. If I was to bring a gun into this, your video would either get shut down or demonetized, just because I just.
It's already yellow right now.
Oh yeah.
Think about this.
Live streams run by Google. Make a lot of money. The only way you make a lot of money is a lot of when people donate through Super Chat. I mean, that's the only way you really make money.
YouTube, all in all, costs me money to make the videos that I make. It really does. I end up putting more money into equipment, time, editing time, internet to upload it, comment time, everything else. The money that I've received back from YouTube, I'm probably tenfold deeper into it to make the videos in the first place.
I operated at a loss for 8 months, dude. I operated at a loss for about 8 months. Like, and I didn't give a fuck because I was like digging into like savings. I was at I had over 10 grand in savings. I was like, let me just try this. And then
Right.
it's a shame it took me so long to like learn myself while I did this. You
I've
know?
I've been doing this for a year now, maybe a little bit over a year, and I think in total I've made $165. I think that's how much I've made in a year on it. So
It
Damn,
also
bro.
takes a lot of time
Yup.
and commitment. The
does.
editing process, man. The editing process is where it's at. Like
Yeah.
anything you can find out, chop it up, make it a thing. Explain parts to people that might not understand what you're thinking while this is going on. Like I made a mistake in my last video. This cop asked the other cop, like, "Is there a statute that governs press passes?" And then the sergeant's just laughing at him, right? And I should have stopped it right there and showed everybody. Look how this cop, the sergeant, won't look the guy that asked him that stupid question in the eyes, while the guy that asked him the stupid question is trying to stare him in the eyes. Like he feels so defeated. Like he's like, "Is this the most embarrassing thing that I ever said on the job?" Because
Right.
cameras are here. like for real. Like you're just like the tough guy muscle that is around the sergeant until a camera comes and you say some stupid ass shit, and then like. Yeah, he felt stupid as hell. And then like Southeastern PA was like, "Fuck you fuck, get the fuck out of here." And then he was like, "I don't know why you have to curse in public like that." Like just trying to like start another thing like it's gonna be disorderly or something, and walks away. Like
If I can make a suggestion, like I don't know if you do, but I do. Like I have my normal number, and then I have like a Google phone number. But have that number ready, and next time they're like, "Oh, something about press passes or something," like, well, I can give you the my company's name that I'm with, and then like literally give them that number, and as your phone's ringing, like, "Hello, can I help you?"
I love it, dude.
Oh, dude, it'd be so classic. We're like, yeah,
Dude,
I
love
am.
it. Yeah, I'll give him my
own
real
journalist.
phone number. Shit, I don't even care anymore. I'm
got
like,
you, Joe Cool.
I tried to do that. I was like, oh, my production name's Subliminal. I work for Subliminal Movements Productions. I was like, I can give you the phone number I work with, and then they didn't ask for it. And I was like, darn it! I was like,
I think I saw somebody do that before. Somebody did that before, man. I know somebody did that. They gave him a number and their own phone rang, dude. I saw somebody do that before one time, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did too.
What's his name?
2 years ago.
Marcus Gray, Honor Your Oath. He did something similar to that. It was something they didn't. I don't know if they called him or not, but he was just like, when he had a phone, like a card, and had a phone number on it, and it was. I think it was him, but they didn't call it. They just looked at the number. There was like, it's basic, and he's like, "You're in Jacksonville."
He was like,
"Yeah, I travel around the state."
Photography is not a crime.
Joe
Cool. Joe Cool is back. Joe Cool is back. He's not yet smoking a black.
We all figured out that we're all wrong. We shouldn't audit the police or anything like that because they're good guys and they're just trying to do their job.
Oh, there's
preaching choir, man. I'm thinking about retiring today, September, man. You're preaching to the choir. Those are good guys. I was so wrong.
They're upstanding. They're upstanding. I mean, they're good to go. I mean, I love them every time they show up.
Doing, right? Hey, what were we complaining about all this time? What were we complaining about all this time?
Right. Good morning, Norway.
Yeah.
I know, right? Because that name is really hard to pronounce.
I'm sorry, I'll never do it again.
Exactly. I just brought it up at first.
So what's good, Joe Cool? How's things in Chicago right now? Are they tripping still?
Cold as fuck.
Well, in Chicago, I'm taking off. I'm coming to Cali in about a week, and I'm trying not to get. So I'm trying not to get arrested. And so I'm trying to avoid
it. Yeah. You don't want to fuck up that airplane trip, y'all. I know the situation. I've been on plenty of
I'm
these trips.
poor, man. It's a car trip. I'm poor. It won't be an airplane.
Ain't no airplane, man. You gonna drive it out there?
I'm gonna drive. I got this chick that's gonna drive. I was gonna take a bus or a train or something. This chick like, no, I'll drive. I want to go.
What is it, like 18 hours?
Yeah, it's gonna be like a day, man. It's gonna be a while, Joe. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be out there a week bouncing around. I couldn't care less.
Man, I wish you could go to you ever get those haters in the comments that say something about what the fuck is that guy's name that shot the guy with the taser? They always be like, be scared of this guy. Oh fuck, yo, he's in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. In 2012, this kid was recording in the courthouse, and the secure he's a bailiff. He fucking tasered the kid, and the kid got up. He was like, "You were totally out of line, sir." Like, it was so good, right? What the hell is his name? Somebody say it if you're in the comments. Oh shit, you know what I'm talking about? P Barnes, yo.
T Barnes.
P Barnes, yo, I found him on Facebook. It still says he works there, dude. I wish I get my ass out to Idaho, but what's in Idaho? Unless I'm driving.
I don't know. Idaho ain't not far from me though. That shit's feasible, Jack. Idaho,
my God.
Indiana.
Oh my God, Joe! If you went in there and P Barnes is a legend to all the people that hate us. Like they're like, yeah, you're lucky P Barnes doesn't get you. He'll tase you and show you. You know, like P Barnes is their god, yo, and I want to fucking audit that guy so bad. I want to go in there and be like, tase me, bro. I'll block him with my phone.
If it's anywhere near my route, I'm gonna make it my business to hit you up and find that nigga, Joe.
It's called Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, but be careful because I heard like there's like a big like racist KKK thing out there. Like they're known for that.
I'll be looking for. That's the shit I was looking for in Texas. I couldn't get nobody to peel off with me and go to them small towns.
Yeah,
but that's what I wanted.
It's like Tyrantville, man. I want to go there so bad.
Tyrantville.
P Barnes, I want to find P Barnes. For all the haters that say like the P Barnes jokes, like they'll be like the 5 things auditors should be afraid of, and it'd be all some corny shit, and the other one would be like P Barnes, you know, like man, come on, I'm gonna get P Barnes one of these days.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him before you, Wolfie. I got a feeling I'm gonna get him first.
Get that motherfucker, dude. I will be like, fuck yeah, dude.
If I don't get him on my way out, if I don't get him on my way out, I'll get him on my way back for sure.
Yeah, you search that video. Anybody search that video? P. Barnes.
Before y'all make it,
you'll find it on YouTube.
When did Phil Robertson get here, man? Phil, you know, like from Duck Dynasty.
Yeah,
you talking about Duck Dynasty guy? Oh snap! You got that.
I'm just giving you. As soon as you popped up, I was like, wait a minute.
You're not the first person who said that, by the way.
Yeah, no.
Do you dye the top half of your mustache?
Don't feel bad, dude.
It would take time away from him getting high. No way he dyes anything.
Too tall. So that's just brown. That's a natural.
It would have to be.
And then like the bottom turns. I don't know nothing about beards work. You see my face, man. I can't grow shit. I grow a rat's nest. It looks all stupid.
That's how my shit look. I can't grow a full beard to save my life.
Dude, I got the child going.
It drives me nuts once it gets too long. I can't. I don't think I could get it that long.
The mustache drives me nuts if it get too long. I hate that if the hair starts sticking you. I hate that.
Fuck that shit.
I be seeing niggas with big mustaches. I like how they make it through that phase where the hair sticking them in the nose.
Yeah, it's weird because it's all sensitive in there. That soft skin inside your nose. Weird.
I keep my shit short as fuck, Joe. It's just irritating. I think Too Tall screen froze up.
He froze up.
He's good.
It wasn't a screen, it was Too Tall.
I'm not froze. I'm just stoned and waiting for a minute to get a word in, but go ahead.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Heard that. Copy that.
When everybody's talking, it's difficult for me to talk.
Floor is yours.
Well, I don't want to hog the floor or anything, but I just don't want to talk with 7 other people talking, you know.
Hey, I use that Too Tall and Frozen joke on him every fucking day, by the way. I'm serious. He stood so still, I be cracking jokes on him about his screen being frozen. Then you see smoke come out of his mouth or something like that.
Okay. Well, anyway. Eyes on the state. How are you this evening?
I am doing very good. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
Well, I wasn't feeling too good and had to go to the ER room, but earlier today I had some words with a brother of mine and even with Joe Cool who said I need to talk to you and stop in and say hi and sub and rub and dub and stuff like that. And hey, how
Thank you.
doing?
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're doing good this evening.
Yeah, I kind of enjoy a no drama zone over at my house, but sometimes shit happens. But
you done popped all the bad guys at your crib by now. You done had popping sessions. It ain't a bad guy invited to your house by now, I guarantee it.
But anyway, I'm pushing for that 1,000 subscribers. I think I have about 45 of those limited, less than 1,000 subscriptions available that, you know, if anybody wants to get me to that 1,000, do it.
I can unsub and resub. That's the best I can do.
See if I can find you here.
But anyway,
I subbed you a long time ago, pimp.
Can you put his link in the chat?
Yeah, I'll put something up in.
Oh, I'm so untalented. I just cut throats, man. You're not asking me to post links, are you really?
No,
Wait,
I can. Hang on.
Anyway,
I could. It just wouldn't be easy.
Anyway, I wasn't feeling too well this evening, so I went to the ER after some encouragement. And my throat's kind
from a woman, I'm sure, because guys are idiots. I'm sure it was a woman that encouraged you. Because we're idiots. I'd be telling you, just give it another day.
I was going to tell you you were a bit of a pussy for going there in the first place.
You guys got to get some tussin, throw some dirt on it.
Rub some dirt on it, Rob.
That helps in some situations. But as I was trying to say,
oh, fuck you.
I was at the ER and the nurse come up to me and said, can I help you and what's wrong and stuff? And I says, well, I ain't feeling too good. And I think I might get checked and see if I ain't got that coronavirus.
I've been forgetting about it for a couple hours.
Oh my God.
All I think about
I wish
day.
I would have had a fucking camera body cam on. Fuck, you thought they were going to come after me with the hat and that shit. It was.
Yes, you should have never said that word.
They quarantined them right away. They were like, coronavirus. Whoop, 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 whoop. They went.
They were out. They were coming back with rubber suits on and shit. And oh my God, what's wrong and stuff. Motherfuckers barely took my temperature, took my vitals, and didn't even offer me any medications, take any blood, and, you know, make a phone call, get with your doctor, and you're out of here.
Where
like
was
for
this at?
fucking real.
The hospital, or what kind of hospital? Was it a VA? Or was it a VA?
That was an emergency room hospital.
He accidentally went to Planned Parenthood.
Oh, it was a regular hospital?
I go to a non-VA hospital.
A non-VA?
I no longer risk my health.
Yeah, good for you.
I no longer risk my health to a VA hospital.
Good for you,
There's
brother.
some stories to that I'll tell at a later time.
Yeah, there's plenty of stories.
Anyway,
out there.
I just noticed you live and thought I'd pop in and hey, how you doing?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like your hat,
man.
buddy.
Thanks for coming.
Oh,
it's awesome.
You love it. He love your wig, Rob.
I'm not getting bald. I'm just getting more head. I'm not getting bald. I'm just getting more head.
Keep telling yourself that.
Not getting bald. He's getting more head.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's why
I'm getting
he wears a toque all the time.
I'm getting more head as well, by the way, Rob. Hey, he would love your wig, Rob.
Right.
That wig, that wig got sent to Denver for Eric Brandt to wear to his court date in federal court or something that's coming up sometime. He had a court date
he got the wig.
About he was.
Eric Brandt got the wig.
You didn't see the video?
Eric Brandt got the wig of them all.
Dude, I got video. Hey,
it's like red, white, and blue or something. It's really weird. Pink and blue or green. It's something really weird.
Good for him, man. I'm glad. Is he out though? He's out. He's back.
Eric B. still pops.
If I may.
Oh shit.
I thought it was.
When Eric. Hey.
Died.
Somebody digitized you.
When Eric got out of jail on his 20,000 was when he got out of jail and he got home on that bail on that $20,000 release. The next morning, that video he was opening the mail, and he wore that wig for damn near a 1 hour video. And at the end of the video, it was beautiful. Eric took the wig off, and Jonna picked it up and put it on Rusty Roo. That made my day. I could die a happy man after I saw that. That's
cool.
Yeah.
You know, every time I see somebody out here doing it, it just makes my
Eric
day.
was talking. Liberty Freak was talking to Eric in the kitchen, and Eric was talking about, I'm going to that bitch's courtroom, and the craziest. This judge was bitching at him about his wearing shoes and shit, being properly dressed next time he comes to court. So he's coming to court with shoes and a suit and a tie and that fuck you cop and the fuck you cop tie. It's all lit up and the shoestrings on the shoes. And he was telling Liberty, I'm looking for the craziest fucking wig to wear. He said, I got to find me a crazy wig or a hat to wear to court. And I heard that, and I was like, bingo. That bitch went in the mail. I threw some coffee for Janet, sent that shit to them. Boom. Eric wasn't even out, half a day? Then they banged him on that 35,000 now. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, now he got a hold on him, I think. He can't even get out until his court date. I think they got
Eric.
I'm pretty sure. They're sure they got a hold on him right now.
They bail so high and they'll never reach it, so they might as well wait to the court date, and then they can probably try to go after and sue for damages after that. You know, for all
super damages.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joe.
Yes.
Eric is in jail until the 18th or something. He is waiting in court for that bond reduction on that 35. Is what I have, the information I have.
All right. If all it was 35, he should have told me something, man. I could have searched around in my fucking couch and got that out of my cushions, man. That's nothing.
Yeah. He would have been out for that, yo.
He'd have been out by now. I wish I'd known, but fuck it. He got a court date coming up. I might as well wait.
No. He's holding up just to let shit settle down. And go for that bond reduction on that 35 that he's up on, or 30, 35. Yeah. He's waiting
Eric
for
Grant
that.
Is smart like that.
Still, we're looking for
Eric Grant is smart like that. He's like, let them pile it on, and let them pile it on, and then I can get them for the most that I can. It's almost like a property claims adjuster, like approach. Like he's like, okay, so they're gonna do this. So like, this has been damaged. The smoke has damaged, all your plastic items.
I understand. Yeah.
You know how they do. And then, so he knows what he's doing. He's going to get
He said Eric will be making a mental note of all these things and will hit them with them later. Also, that night that I spent with Eric, That's what he discussed. I was asking him, how the fuck can you threaten judges? And he was like, he explained to me the difference. No, I don't cross the line. I will say, I hope, I wish, those things are okay. If you say, I'm gonna, now you're crossing the line. So he's very aware of what he's doing. And I'm sure they are too, but they still arrested him because they know we're powerless. That we're gonna run out of money before they run out of fucking arrest.
And that's their hope. And yeah, that's their hope. Yep. So
It is.
that's where you have to be really careful, because they will drain your time, your money, and your efforts over some petty shit. Like,
But just imagine.
Just look at Pennsylvania versus Mims. Like, they were so stubborn
I'm not familiar
that
with the
won
case.
the Superior Court case that they took it to the Supreme Court case to try to get him, and then they tied Terry v. Ohio to it, and then changed their story and said, I did see a bulge before he got out of the car.
Okay, wait. Pennsylvania Menace, I'm not familiar with it. And Pono in chat, you better chill. I'm gonna pop your ass again.
Yeah.
What was the Pennsylvania Menace decision?
Pennsylvania Mims is a man. The man Mims was pulled over by I believe, Pennsylvania State Police, like the troopers, highway patrol, whatever people call them, and they pulled this man over and illegally asked him to exit the vehicle. After doing so, they noticed that he had a bulge, and they Terry frisked him, right? And found a gun that was unregistered, blah, 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 right? They charged him. Mims fought it, and I guess it's called...
Oh, Mims. This is Mims. Mims was predicated on a legit stop.
Oh, yeah, it was a legit stop, but it wasn't for him being dangerous. It was like
It was a traffic stop, right? He won the case, right?
Yeah, so they asked him to get out of the car, and they're saying that by them asking, or they made him get out of the car, pretty much. They gave him no choice.
Yes.
By them doing that their finding of that weapon was the fruit of a Fourth Amendment violation by making him exit his vehicle.
Mhm.
Well, Pennsylvania lost, and then they took it to the next level, which was the very high Supreme Court. And in that statement, and everybody's missing this, the story changes, because in the Superior Court, or whatever the hell it is, a district or whatever court, they were saying, we didn't see a bulge until we got out of the car, and that was why the judge made this decision. And then the Supreme Court ruling, they changed the story and said we saw the bulge before he got out of the car, and then they tied it to Terry v. Ohio, which pretty much states like a mere inconvenience for officer safety that they can Terry frisk you and shit.
And then they won. You should also understand that in that same decision, they can pull out a passenger as well.
Yeah,
because
mere inconvenience for officer safety bullshit, all because of that lie that was changed. Like, yes, we did see a bulge before, and you'll see it in both. You watch both cases, you read the summary. It's like a switch story. It's right in front of you, and by doing that, they pulled off the biggest scandal they ever could, and it right under our eyes.
Agree.
And police all know it. They try to throw it around like, Pennsylvania versus Mims, I can make you get out of the car.
They immediately pull your ass out the car, even if you're a passenger.
But you still don't have to. You still don't have to ID if you're a passenger.
That's right.
You can just submit to a frisking to make sure that you don't have any weapons.
A weapons pricks, right? They can't go in your pocket. The most they can do is a weapons pet. That's right.
But it's bullshit. That whole Pennsylvania versus Mims shit. If people look into it, it's all bullshit, man. They changed it.
It is. It was to give them power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joe, cool. I don't know if you know about me, but man, I'm a big open carry activist, dude. I
do not know about you. I gotta tell you, I don't. And listen, I look for the brothers, bro. I look for the brothers, Joe. It ain't but fucking half a dozen of us out here, so I look for the brothers, bro. Yeah, and half of that half a dozen is on vacation or inactive. So yeah.
No, I've been active for like almost 2 years, 2.5 years, and I go around the state of Florida carrying it's not even an AR-15, it's an AR style 22
it's
long.
The pistol that looks like an rifle.
A
It looks
black
like
It is a
man
rifle.
with a gun on YouTube, dude. I subscribed like an
Looks like
hour
an
ago.
AR-15
I didn't even know about
doesn't
this guy.
shoot the same round.
Oh wow, you guys didn't. Holy cow.
That shit's awesome, dude. That shit is you got balls, man. I love it, dude.
Yes, I gotta
Huge
love it.
monster ones, I have to say.
Monster what state?
Monster balls.
Yes, right.
A couple of his
He's in
videos,
Florida.
a couple of the videos that he's had, I have to say, not knowing or skipping ahead to what's happened, they've scared me. I've feared for his safety a couple times.
Wow.
The way that they come up to him and the way that they act, it's scary. I really have thought that they were going to kill him once or twice at least.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I definitely got to check you out, pimp.
Yeah. Did you freeze up, Solo, or are you still here? It looks like he may have froze up for a second.
Yeah, he been having some problems.
Oh, here he came. He came back. All right. Hang on. Let me see. I think I got to...
He's still
All right.
frozen.
Let me remove this one and let me add this one.
Yeah, his internet been tripping a little bit tonight anyway. Maybe it's just his internet.
Man, that one looks enticing. I gotta see that one. Tyrant cop threatens me with his
Are
gun.
you back or are
He's
you
back.
froze?
Down in Florida.
It looks
He
like
might
he's
still
back.
be froze. I ain't seen him move yet. All right, I think he smiled. Oh, I could be wrong.
I think he's
Yep. There he
I'm
is.
back.
Okay. All right. He's back.
I'm
You
back.
froze up, bro. We didn't know you froze up.
Yeah, I froze up. I've got to I'm all on Wi-Fi right now on my my laptop, and it's good, but it goes in and out because I got multiple things going. So, but anyway, friggin' yeah, I carry an AR style rifle. I go fishing, completely legal in Florida.
Yes, it is.
And I've had guns drawn on me twice, detained at least 3 to 4 times.
Yep.
And numerous police interactions, and a lot of them, it just, like, it's my right. I believe that people should be able to carry how they want, but if we're losing our rights in the second. Not the First Amendment's about to lose them too, but the Second Amendment's really losing a lot. So I took a stance and said, hey, you know something? If you're going to try to take my gun, I'm going to put my gun in your face and say, come get it.
You gotta look at this shit from my perspective, though, SoloYaker. Man, I don't even have I feel like you all right, you're in Florida. I feel like you're like the privileged because they don't even let us have a gun up in this motherfucker.
Agreed. Try that shit in Chicago, you lucky fuck you.
Yeah.
Listen, just having a gun in your waistband.
Oh, dude,
even certainly if you're black and you run away, they will shoot you in the back and will get away with it. And the people will say, yes, he had a gun. He should have been shot. Black folks will say that dumb shit.
Hold on. Now, just how you said that, it's all because of Democrats. I'm sorry to say.
Fuck you. Who said that, your dumb ass? Fuck is you talking about?
I don't believe in Democrats or Republicans.
Yes, ain't no Democrat, Republican, man. They the same arms of the same creature, man. That's the Kit Kats like you dancing around blaming Democrats, Republicans are God. They save our life. That's ignorant.
They have the control. I was telling you.
Listen,
they have the control.
I don't believe in that politics, though. No, it's the government design. That's all it is.
They created the law. Look at California. Same thing.
Dude, it's the same people creating all that bullshit. Do you really think Democrats are more evil than Republicans?
I know.
They're all
okay. Well, why is you pointing them out? If we just had Republicans, we'd have our guns.
You need more people that are fighting for your guns.
Yeah, that's a good question. Joe Cool always on it. If we just had Republicans, would we all have our gun rights?
And we'd be happy.
You have to fight for your rights. The Democrats want to take the guns away.
Yes, all part of the plan. You think Republicans want to give you your shit?
You think they'll do it? Just give it to the Democrats, and every gun right will be
yes,
there.
the Democrats. I tell you what,
concealed weapons license for the right to bear arms.
That's the bullshit they make you
It's
think. They
every-
want you to blame the other
But
side.
in Chicago,
yes, yes, Wolfie.
Here, guys.
I can't. Yeah.
All right, let's watch the vid, Solo. This one of yours, Solo?
This is me.
This
You're
is
wrong.
Let's check it out.
Can you guys hear it?
Yes. And you're strapped right now, Solo, right?
Yeah, I've got an AR and a handgun on me.
All right.
I seen this months ago.
Now you obviously have fishing tackle with you, so they should leave you the fuck alone.
Right. Hey, bro. And a flag.
Hey.
Whoa, be quiet.
I was literally on my way. Right here. Get on the ground. Hands out. Down like an airplane. Hold on. Get on the ground. Don't even fucking put your hands out. Hands down on your belly. On your belly. Hands out.
That's how scared he is.
You fucking touch one of those guns, I'm gonna shoot you. I am not touching it. I'm just going fishing. I was on my own. I was walking down the middle of the street. I was literally.
I don't know why it's pausing.
I was literally on my way to fishing, man. Keep your hands out. Look, man. Keep your hands out. I'm not, dude. You were not fishing. I was.
Because you have to be on your way to fishing or something, right? To carry your gun in Florida?
Yeah.
But the cop doesn't even understand what's going on. He looks like a complete imbecile.
Yeah, I do. I know.
Hey, eyes.
Wait. Why you say he looks like an imbecile? Is that what you said?
The cop.
No, shut the fuck up. No. 10th man, why'd you say he sounds like an imbecile?
Because the cops like, you're not fishing, as if you have to actually physically be fishing. Well, you have the gun. How are you going to get to the...
Oh, you said the cop sounds like an imbecile.
Yes. This is like a law, right? Is this like a law, SoloYaker? Like you can carry your gun if you're on the way of hunting or fishing?
Yes, it is the law in Florida.
Going to and from fishing, hunting, camping on your property, your place of business. There's like 7 exceptions to open carry. And
all right, the video was stopped. So since I'm not finna run over there right now, what happens is this your typical encounter? I'm guessing they search you, take your weapon, and end up giving it back.
Giving it back, yeah. And the whole time, like, you know, I got a lot of slack because
somebody put a
at
link
that point,
to that video in the chat.
Yes, I will.
It's a.
Can somebody put a link to
yes,
that video in the chat, please?
State has got it, Joe. State's got it, Rob.
They want to see your carry license, your ID. They search all that, then they give you, run you, and then they give you your weapon back.
Everything. You know.
Wait, Solo. So you ID'd, Solo?
I had the only thing I have to ID is my fishing license, and that's the only thing by the state that I have to get.
Right. I can understand that. And actually, you weren't even fishing, so you did not ID.
It's going to
on your way.
I have a fishing license, but not my ID.
You don't have to give that license if your pole's not in the water, unless that's some type of tied to that gun law. But you don't have to give no fishing license if your pole went on the water.
You're absolutely 100% correct. And after the fact, when you've got a gun pointed at you, you're like, at that point, after all this I'm in handcuffs. Like the whole time I'm like in handcuffs. And when I finally get out through all the stuff, I'm like, I'm not thinking. I'm just like, I just want to get away from Eve, and I want to get my firearms back. Because, and I've had other incidents where they've taken my guns and then they dumped my mags, threw all my ammo in my friggin' bag somewhere, you know, and I had to put all my stuff back together on the side of the road. Like, I've got a lawsuit with Miami Beach PD right now for drawing guns on us. And we were only carrying handguns that day. There were 6 of us on a pier, and they walked up, guns drawn. And
they they came up bad. That one
dude.
that appeared to that was bad.
That was a bad one. They stalked us and sent people away. As people were walking up on the thing, they were like, "No, go." They're like, "Get out of here, get out of here." And then I was on a Facebook Live thing, and I was like, "This should be a good interaction." They should be like, "Yep, you're following the law." And then before I even blinked,
nope.
Get hands up, hands up. Well, actually, they gave us like 3 different commands. It was hands up, hands down, hands up. Don't touch your weapon, and like
you're
I'm
like,
doing the hook.
What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Like, hey,
I was talking about the Jeff Winehouse. I was talking about the Jeff Winehouse video earlier in News Now South Florida's live stream, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. SoloYaker, you ever see that video?
The what one?
Where he goes to retrieve his computers back, and then the cop shoots him for having a 22 on his waist.
Oh yeah. There's some really bad ones, and that's why a lot of the
5 times
gun laws in every state, they need for anywhere, any kind of infringement is an infringement, and it's coming from everybody. And I don't mean to just criticize one. It's just like we have who do we have, and that's why we need more constitutional politicians or if there should be stiffer penalties, like the people should be able to punish a congressman. I cannot punish a congressman. That comes internally through the government.
They will not punish him, so he doesn't go punish. Same with judges. I can't punish a judge. Other judges are supposed to do it, and they will not do it.
There should be insurance policies they have to take out for if they mess up.
So we don't end up paying for that shit. Agreed, Wolfie.
Yes. So you don't have to go outside your qualified immunity, blah, blah, blah. And it will hurt you. It'll come out of your paycheck. They'll have to pay deductibles. You'll have to do that. They'll think about it more. They'd be more accountable. Yeah. That's bullshit.
Well, down here,
they will never do it.
Actually,
it's easy.
You actually have it almost in every state. There's this thing called a recall of local officials, like your mayor, your committees of any state city hall. A lot of the people that you elect into office at the city level, not so much the state, but at the city, there's a recall. You should be able to recall congressmen, senators, even for if you get enough signatures or whatever you have to do to impeach anybody, whether it be a president, whoever. Everybody's accountable.
There should be I disagree. I think you're fucking insane for following the system, bro. It doesn't work. It's meant to delay all that recall.
It's the accountability.
Yes. It's not. There's no such thing as accountability going through their channels.
Yeah.
That recall shit is meant to delay you.
I say the people. I can recall a mayor. I can do that. I can't recall.
Listen, I have the right to resist an arrest when it's unlawful. But in reality, that shit don't work.
Right.
I haven't seen a lot of people doing that recall shit because it don't work. That jury nullification shit, in theory, sounds good, but it don't work. Stop telling people to follow that shit because it don't work. All that, go talk to your congressman, talk to your mayor, go up that's meant to delay. In 20 years, I might get one law passed.
Jury nullification is real, though. I wouldn't go that far and say that you don't have the power as a juror to nullify a case because you feel that the situation happened wasn't right, wasn't lawful, and then you found out this. So I think the whole case should be dismissed or nullified, and that shit is real. You're just not told about it. And
yes. Even when I've seen people go outside to tell the jurors about it, they'll dismiss the whole jury if they know about it.
Yeah,
they're pretty
exactly. Shitty. And that is called jury tampering, and that's what the judge.
Yes, it is.
It's pathetic. It's dirty. And yo, dude, my God, they will retry the case. they'll say, you know, the jury got tampered with. No, you're tampering with the jury.
You're the one tampering. We following the law. You're tampering.
They make you feel so powerful as a juror, but they don't tell you that you have the highest power to nullify. And
which
that
is to say yes.
Just
We
jury instructions.
I totally agree. And then when somebody else tells them and says, oh, they forgot this rule, they tamper with the fucking jury until they get it the way they want it.
Yep. And if you nullify, you can't be held responsible. You can't be held under contempt. You can't be punished by the judge. And you are protected as a juror to nullify if you feel like the matters came across because shit wasn't right. You didn't feel like it was handled correctly. And that's an American thing from the court system from as like far as it goes back, you know, and things that they over time try to say, remember, we're the man in charge. You have to decide guilty or not guilty, and that's it.
They've taken all of your fucking rights. They've replaced them with fucking corporate laws and legalities that the average man cannot understand and can't afford to overcome. If I have a beef with somebody, I have to get a lawyer. And then if I lose, I have to go to the appellate and so until I'm out of fucking 10 grand, 30, 60. No one can afford justice in the American system.
And they'll do it to you, and they'll do it to you, and people think it's easy. And like this shit goes dark and deep. Like the prosecutor's office never wants to mess over the judge, and then they don't want to look bad for this. And then if they do this for somebody that's right, then they have to do it for everybody else. And dude, it's like the whole thing.
Later, from Norway.
Tilt the system, you know, and that's what they're trying to do. And
tilt the
system. You think about it, like you get a lawyer, and all you're really paying for is when you find a lawyer, try to find a motherfucker that knows people around the area, like somebody that's in there with people that will walk in, because all they're really doing is walking into the prosecutor's office, being like, "Oh, hey Jeff, how's the golf game? How's your wife and kids doing? How was the?"
I heard that you want the opposite. I heard you want a lawyer from out of state. You do not want somebody who's in and knows those people because he's going to be closer with them than you every time.
Yep,
I heard in order to get justice, you have to get someone from out of state.
Oh, civil justice? Yeah.
They're not tied into it then at that point. They don't have to worry about the repercussions that come back from it.
Criminal justice, I would say you could probably get off on some shit. My lawyer, like I've gotten charges dropped while I was younger. I had a bunch of dumb shit happen. Now I don't have any trouble happening with me for like a long time. But like my lawyer, just because of the people he knew and just see judges switch up just for me because of the lawyer I had, because he was so well connected with these people that he made an exception and actually did the right thing. When I just watched him like totally violate like 4 people before me, and then he comes up and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get ripped to shreds by this guy, and then I'm like shocked as hell, and then the cop is like there looking around like, oh fuck, I lost this case. I'm like, what is going on? What's going on here? This is awesome. And like it happened a few times. I had a DA, this young chick. She was hot too, hot ass DA in this courtroom. She got so fired up after it was like, I'm gonna destroy all evidence of this case and blah blah blah, and this is over. And I was like, I don't know, 20 at the time. This is like, you know, I was a young buck, and fucking dismisses my case. The DA chick flips the hell out. I'm gonna appeal this, all this stuff, and the judge looks her right in the eyes and says, "You see all this?" and holds up all the files in the case. I said, "This is it. The evidence is being destroyed. This case is dismissed." Like, and she's like, "Bullshit." And I'm just like, "Wow, this chick's flipping out." And I just left. It was awkward. I didn't even have a chance to smile. I was like, "This is weird."
Yeah, I've seen that happen as well, where a lawyer would come in there and tear they ass off and give his fucking client a high five and shit when it's over with. I've seen that happen as well.
Yeah, I had my lawyer take a case that to like the nearest city instead of like in the local municipality where the shit happened. Like, I don't even know how you do that. Like,
Yeah, change your venue, but why can't your public defender do it? You know what I'm saying? They're pieces of shit. They're in bed with the fucking
pretenders.
Well, to be a lawyer, look, I was talking to Rach Christie one time on the phone and shit, and he explained this shit very well. Like, a lot of people do want to be lawyers, and to become that, you have to, owe an expensive debt. So, and in return for becoming that lawyer, you spend so many years paying back that you become like, I don't know, like kind of like an ambulance chaser. And like you just want to get the person to plea deal real quick so you can get paid off of that and move to the next case, and move to the next case, and move to the next case.
95% I heard I pled out.
Or you're getting like child sex offenders off in cases for a paycheck, and then when you finally do pay all that back and you're able to buy like that yacht and shit and be all chilling on it, like you're gonna be alone on that yacht. Everybody's
Not
gonna know
only that, you're gonna been sold so much of your soul, you're not even gonna recognize yourself.
It's just like being a cop. You're working with these people, this criminal organization, and they're just as bad. Record every lawyer you see, for real, straight up.
Yup.
I heard that shit. Joe smoked a lot of bed.
I remember being in Sacramento with N2 Film, and we were filming, and she was like, "I don't want to be filmed and shit." Right, and he was like, "Oh, okay, that's all you had to say." Then he was like, "Wait, are you a lawyer?" She was like, "Yeah, I'm a lawyer here, trying to get shit from the DA's office." He was like, "Oh shit, I'm filming the hell out of you." And then she started flipping out. Everybody's filming her. She's like, "Why though?" And it's like, shit, like you're just as bad as the rest of us, man. The rest of these guys.
Yup.
Yes, I agree.
Hey, any reason, Crazy Clown, that you can think of to exercise the Second Amendment more is a good reason.
Go out, film anything. Film the car dealership from the sidewalk. Film the car dealership. Say, look, man, I heard like people are like using these cars. You know what I mean? Or, I heard employees are using these cars to go to lunch. I'm just doing a story. Do whatever the hell you want to do, man. Practice your First Amendment rights wherever you want. I don't care what you do. Audit Burger King on the sidewalk.
Burger King, have it your way.
I'm gonna go get some cocoa, man. I was gonna take you cats with me, but fuck that. I'll be back in a minute. You'll be here.
All right, man.
All right. He's gonna go get some cocoa and shit. Yo, Joe Cool getting the hot cocoa.
It's fucking freezing cold up in Chicago right now.
I know it is cold here.
It's cold. We're cold here in Florida, and it's cold up. I couldn't imagine.
Right?
He's like, I'm gonna go out and get cocoa. I'm like, I hope you're getting cocoa, like you're heating it up in the house or something, because I wouldn't. I'm like,
What's cold?
Chicago.
Yeah, it's cold up
there in Florida.
Cold here in Florida is anything that's like 65 and lower is cold.
65.
It's weird, Wolfie, because I'm from up north, so I'm used to the snow and the ice and stuff. But down here, the humidity in the air, the cold, instead of just it being tolerable, it like eats through your skin right down to your bones.
It happens up here now too. It's almost like Georgia humidity in New Jersey in the summer. Oh my God, it just sucks the energy out of you in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like you're in a rainforest. Yeah, it's bad shit now. It used to be better, but now it's just all humid up here. So, like, that's one of the reasons why I miss Vegas. I don't miss how the Vegas sun hurts, man. Like, but there's like no humidity.
Very dry heat.
I just switched my temperature over to Fahrenheit so I could translate correctly for you guys. Right now it is 5 Fahrenheit, and it is -2 with the wind chill.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
that's outside for like 15, 20 minutes and you're getting frostbite.
Oh, I did my audit in that earlier, but none of it recorded, and I was out there for almost an hour. You guys,
That's
Yo,
'cause
I
your
hate
camera
that cold,
froze.
man. I hate that cold.
-2,
I get it from time
man.
to
I don't
time.
even know what to do. What's there to do at -2? What do you do?
Nothing.
hide inside a
You
White Walker.
scream at yourself while you walk.
Well, I guess you could ride a snowmobile. That's fun. I mean, you're working to hold yourself on the thing, so you build up a little bit.
Pink hair.
We can still audit when it gets down to like 32.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
And that's like up into after you get like Tampa and north. That's when it gets kind of freezing cold. It does get a little freezing cold in Tampa, but like after central Florida and south doesn't get. It's different.
It is. I've had water freeze here.
What's freezing cold? 38 degrees.
I've had water freeze here.
Yeah, we've gotten some sub 25s.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. 25. Okay. Yeah, that shit's cold, man. Fuck, dude. When you get down to 2 degrees, that's when you're going. Fucking
dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
the only
what
thing that would be cool about like snow is that when I'm like outside, I can keep my beer cold and not have to worry about.
No, you're not.
Yeah. I keep like a 30 pack in the trunk of my car, like a little extra one. I don't have to have it in the fridge.
It'll
I can
freeze.
just grab it.
Cheers, bro.
You can just grab a beer anytime you want when you park up somewhere at somebody's house. Like, yeah, I got some cold ones in the trunk, man.
The truck. Yeah, they're in the truck. You got a cooler?
Yup.
Hell yeah.
No, like I've seen snow. I've been around snow. I've actually been to Chicago. Like, you know, not gonna go back to there, but I've been to Chicago, and it is crazy. I mean, like, there's a lot of things that are such. I feel for them. You know, same thing with like Maryland and so many other states. There's so many states. How do you prevent it? That's how do you correct it? If you fight it, the laws are already in place, and they're just
gonna blow you away. They're gonna freaking blow your brains out just for having.
Blow your brains out, or lock you up and put you in prison for a crime that is already protected by.
Well, it isn't here in this state. If you have one on your hip, you're just not allowed to have one unless you're a state licensed person. So,
right.
And if you don't show that,
that's an infringement. That in itself is an infringement because the right is already there. I don't agree with me having to pay almost I had to pay $150 or $120 something to get the license from the state, and then another $55 to take a class before I could get the license. So I'm almost 200 deep just to have the right to carry.
But then you have to renew it, right?
And have to renew it every 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years. That's not bad though.
That's
but
not
still,
bad.
they're taking your money. Yeah, it's bullshit.
But it's once you've given me the right, until something happens with me, whether, and that's the worst part about the mentally stuff is who is the one that judges if you're mentally unstable? I mean, obviously you can, like the person that's like schizophrenic and is like talking to people that aren't there. Yeah, that person is probably has some mental, but the government's the only one that challenges your mental stability.
Well, William Binney, the dude that created the stellar wind shit, said this best, that he knows for a guaranteed fact that if the government used what is called stellar wind, the back end of this Russian program that they turned around and used on all of us, to the thing Edward Snowden whistle blew about the program, if they use it the way it was intended, instead of bulk creating data, like just getting everybody's shit at once, because that's for some reason they want everybody's data. If they just focused on what it was meant for, terrorists and this and that and the mentally, what I mean, they would have thwarted anybody, the Boston bombers, this person, that person, all these people that got away with this shit. They would have thwarted that shit because after the fact, you see all the Facebook posts or social media posts that were warning signs and stuff, but they're but they're so focused on everybody's shit. They're not focusing in on the people, the keywords and stuff that you're supposed to look for with this shit. So I mean, like
there are keywords, and even for Nicholas
smart
Cruz,
enough. You know they're smart enough to just drop like a fucking air bomb that nobody sees and kill everybody by breathing 2 or 3 puffs. We already probably know they have this shit, but they're not smart enough to figure out a way to stop these people before they go and do radical shit.
I'll tell you a clear-cut case of that. Here in Florida, Parkland, Nicholas Cruz, he killed like 17 down in Parkland at a high school that he wasn't even going to. He purchased a legal firearm, and the FBI, police, like numerous calls, over 17. I hear now the number is like coming out to 35, but there were at least 17 numerous things where he either posted it or something.
Yep.
And they completely failed. When they're saying, hey, this kid is saying he's going to do this, that's the time you start watching. You watch him at that point. You may not infringe on his rights per se, but your eyes are glued to him because he's making that threat. Whenever you make that threat, that is against the law. That is against the law.
What I'm saying is, I recorded outside of a refinery, right? About December 2018, right? A police officer that showed up on the scene, a sergeant for one of the towns around the area, found out my information illegally from another altercation we had and gave them my information. I received 2 agents at my door, banging on my door. When that wasn't enough, they were banging on my window, and I got pissed. I opened up the window curtain and was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Don't ever bang on my window. What the fuck?" And he flashes his FBI badge. The lady with him was a Homeland Security lady, so it was like Mulder and Scully deal kind of thing. Come out. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll talk to you, but I'm gonna grab my camera. And I knew I only had like 7% on my camera anyway. But they were like, if you're gonna grab your camera, then we're just not gonna talk. And then like the idea comes through my head, like, do I go grab my camera and shame them off of my driveway and down my sidewalk and tell them, like, if I didn't do anything wrong and you're just here to do your due diligence, like, fucking get the hell out of here, or I don't get my camera and I listen to them because I wanted to kind of know. Like, my curiosity was peaking. So I was like, all right, go. If you want to come here and talk, I told them just talk. I let them say what they wanted to say. They said, we already know everything you do. We did our research. I said, if you did your research, then you know what I do then. The guy says yes. The female says, what is it exactly that you do? And I told her that I do freedom, the hottest topic in America, right? And they both kind of like, nodded to each other. And I said, look, man, I have videos where I showcase the flag. Oh, they asked me if I loved America. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's the weirdest shit ever. They asked me if I loved America. They said I didn't do anything wrong. They were just out there doing their due diligence. And my whole thing now is that I'm out there doing my due diligence. People don't have to do anything wrong in City Hall for me to go out and do my due diligence, because I learned it from Homeland Security. They told me that it's okay to do your due diligence, even though you don't have any evidence that there was any wrongdoing. So that's how America works, obviously, and that's what I'm doing.
That's how we play that game.
Yeah, exactly. I know they watch every one of my videos because they're doing their due diligence to watch each one.
Thank you. You should donate to all of us while we're watching.
And the people that do review my videos should be fortunate that I'm not one of those dudes that just like shoots cars in a video. It's like boring as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like look at me, I got my fucking shit, blah 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 blah. and you're just watching that, at least I'm giving you some kind of entertainment value
Yeah.
for your job and your 8-hour or probably 6-hour workday, because federal agents always have the best hours.
They do.
5-hour
they were off
workday.
today.
They were
8:30 to 1:30.
Friggin' all types of friggin' public records requests today, and no, they're all closed. Call tomorrow. I'm like, yeah,
It's that President's Day bullshit.
President's Day, yeah. Like, whatever. It is what it
It's a
is.
federal holiday. It shouldn't work for municipalities.
I mean, it's the holiday. Have some parades, have you whatever, but they just shut everything fucking down.
You know what? President's Day is a disgrace to the presidents that founded our country. An absolute disgrace to it.
Street, whatever, have a festival, but you don't have to shut everything down.
Yeah, I don't think Thomas Jefferson or John Adams or any George Washington wants President's Day to be celebrated anymore.
Yeah, they're rolling over in their graves right now.
They're pissed. Yeah.
Oh, no, this is not going to work.
Right? Yeah.
Got me a drink. Hold on.
It's definitely not going how they want it to work. For sure.
I don't think. No. Fun's getting hot, and we're a frog in it. So let's get out. It's time to get out and freaking hold some people accountable.
Yup. I agree to that.
Yeah, so everybody's gonna meet the camera in my case, because and it's funny, you probably look at me like pussies with cameras, man.
Right? They do.
And I'm like, oh, much respect to you, dude. I could never.
I've got a camera,
imagine
dude.
that where
the only way I document is with a camera. I'm like you.
Yeah.
Except for I just carry a gun
and a camera.
Different, but I'll let you know, man. Friggin' it's fun. It's good freedom, but sometimes it sucks.
No, it's like
more
banging
control.
your head against the wall, no matter what you do.
Yeah, but in the First Amendment side, because there's not an openly carried rifle or anything to that nature, you have a little bit more. That's why I've seen some escalate. I've seen First Amendment orders get drawn on. It's not the first time I've seen it, but is that a camera? But I'm just like you. It's just I know I put myself out there. I know I put myself, but who else is going to do it? Like, if you look before I started doing this,
I know that
there were many videos of open carry in Florida. I mean, it's not to say that people didn't do it. It's just you look at YouTube where it would be posted, or even Facebook, other than certain groups, you don't see it. So I've helped expose this. I've helped expose this law. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. No, I want to hear it.
No. I just ranted. So it's that circle of life, man.
I just what I'm saying is I expect people to be riled up because I walk in with a mirror camera and shit. But would I call it baiting? Hell no. But it's not like I'm gonna get you see some auditors, they act the same way every time. Every time, oh, you disrespected me. Oh, blah, this and that. Oh, I'm gonna call the cops. I'm gonna call the cops on you for grabbing my camera. I expect my camera to be grabbed. It takes excessive grabbing and stealing and shit where you feel entitled. That would make me pissed off enough to call to charge you with that shit. If it's you do it once and I call you out for it, don't touch me, and then you can see that they're like, oh, I feel like a jackass now, like I did overstep my bounds and stuff. Dude, you're forgiven on the spot. I'll still scold you for it. No, I don't want you to lose your job for it. I expect you to
Put your
not
hands on me, brother.
But I'm not baiting you. I'm just expecting you to not understand because it happens all the time to me. And I'm walking in, I'm like asking for a public records request. I'm trying to show people how to record themselves doing a government transaction. And I'm never going to be there like, oh, I'm just here to record all day. But sometimes I'll go in and be like, I'm just looking around, I don't need anything, and that's fine and that's different. But some people are like, you should have sat there for 4 hours and just to prove a point. Like, no, I'm not there to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm there to get a look around, to get what I need, come out and show you what the building looks like.
I like when they shut the offices down. Have they shut the offices down on you yet anywhere?
They've locked me out of places. I have one that's coming up where they're both cam-backing me behind a locked glass door.
I've had that.
The one lady gives me the finger real quick, and I already made the thumbnail for it. I haven't even started on the video yet.
I was out with Rogue in Dade City, and the Dade City tax collector shut the entire office down, and all the employees went out and had cigarettes and hung out. And they did it twice because Rogue went in the first time, and they shut the office down for him. And I had gone to other offices inside of the building that it was in and done other things. And I came back down as he was coming out, and they were just going back to it. And I came in, and they shut it right back down again and let everybody go. Mm-hmm. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. How can you guys this?
I've seen them do a fire drill on one of the channels before.
Yeah. Rogue Nation had
no, it was in Oklahoma. I think it was like Oklahoma News or News Now Oklahoma, and James Freeman I think was there, and maybe Patrick or whatever. And they went into this place and they fucking did a fire drill. Everybody exited. I was like, wow, what a convenient fire drill when the camera people get there. That's crazy. Right?
They evacuated another one too. Over
so crazy, dude.
Over there, Rogue Nation was in one, and they called the cops. They evacuated the building.
Are you talking about the DMV?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the most. I've been waiting to bring that up all night. I've been sitting here going, wait for your opening, Steven.
When have you ever saw a probation office that has fire drills? Like with the public.
They locked me out of those.
When have you ever seen a DMV because of one camera?
Yeah, the Rogue Nation. They evacuated everybody. Where was that? Orange?
Yeah, I think so. It was over on the East Coast, I think, is where it was, where that happened.
Oh,
I mean, they do it all the time. It's like, what are you guys doing? I looked up in the Davie office, or the Dade City office. They had 20 cameras facing down, the tiltables, panables, zoomable cameras in the area that we were in. So I took a picture of all the cameras, and I'm like, well, what's the big deal? There's cameras everywhere in here. Why are you guys stopping?
Those cameras are for their security, but they can't. If you ask them who has access to the footage of that camera, and like for this facility, they don't even know the guy's name. They don't even know who he is.
No.
And they're cool with that, yo. That's crazy, dude.
They have no clue. None.
Yeah, so like it's unimaginable that these people just trust these cameras that are, like I said earlier, like if all these cameras that are on walls and poles and trees and this and that outside and businesses and stuff, they actually had people connected to them, like, yeah, it would be weird. Like there's a pizza shop with a person on it with a camera on the roof.
Yeah.
There's a person there on top of that street light with a camera. There's a person, on the side of the courthouse up there with a camera. Like, it's really actually what it is. There's a person.
Theories. If you're into like real conspiracy theories, they say that
I just made one up.
That's the government right there, man. That's the government.
Yeah.
That's
Right. I mean, that's how you have to
they're
look
like,
at it.
oh, we're gonna make
Cameras
it
are
good for
people.
you,
They're
and
cameras.
you upload it to your Wi-Fi or your whatever. Get it some way we can get attached to it, and
Yeah.
they can go from there.
Well, look at what
Collect
China
FBI.
does. Look at
your
what China
emails
does.
and even your movements between cameras all day.
Yeah.
And
Google,
Yup.
Siri.
Well, look what
freaking
China does.
Alexa,
China uses their traffic cameras that face down at the road, and if you go across the street walking and the little light isn't on for you to be able to walk across the street, then they've got a big billboard on the other side of the street that they put your picture on and shame you with and stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The walk of shame they're trying to do on you.
Exactly. So that you won't cross the street without that little light being turned on.
Even if it's green.
Yup.
Wow, man. Yeah, dude, they'll do that. They'll fucking put you on blast any chance they get. But then, no, it's funny too. It's like I saw this video like earlier, and the dude's trying to explain to the cameraman, "Oh man, but why won't you consider that guy's feelings? He just said he didn't want to be on camera, even though the guy was recording in a public place." And he goes like, "You're just being selfish, you know. You just want to be a dick." He's like, I totally understand what you're doing, and I totally agree. Like public officials and stuff need to be held accountable, but he's not a public official, and he just wants you to respect his wishes. But you're being selfish now. Like that shit pisses me off because like, who's being selfish? Is there like 50-50 selfishness going on, and like there's an impasse happening here where like he's being selfish because he wants his feelings respected, and he's being selfish because it's his right. So it's a fucking wash, bro. Leave it alone. Don't walk up to the camera. Don't fuck around. I hate when people try to do that and try to make you look like a bad person. They're filming.
They do it a lot.
Don't come up to the camera.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Don't come up to the fucking camera. Don't talk to me.
Right?
Because when you
Yeah,
talk,
nobody will ever think about you.
I can respond to you.
Like you would just be a passerby, and the camera, even if you're sitting still in the camera for 10 minutes straight, and you don't say nothing, don't look at the camera, you're doing your thing, doing your job. It would be the most boring video ever. Nobody will ever even say, "Hey, I remember that guy."
I'm cutting that part out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just garbage footage.
B-roll.
And that's what a lot, like, from what I understand about some of the better auditors, not like I won't say crazy, but the ones that are set. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Label it, but they push to
even though you can't integrate profession,
and it's the right. I won't take it. And there's those ones, but for the most part, like you said, if you're in there for 5 minutes and everything goes smooth, everything you get what you need, you're just going in there and you're in and out, whether you're getting a records request, whatever. You get in, get what you need, and you go about your business, and nobody friggin' has these temper tantrums. You probably never use that footage. I mean, you'd be like, oh, this, or some down here, like I've used one or two where it was like, hey, I showed them, they did a good job, anything happened. We go back and forth. We try to show the good ones from the bad ones, but we also want to just make sure we have good content. But every now and again, it's good to show a good interaction, saying, hey, not everybody's bad.
Yeah, so we also have these other channels out there that when everything goes all smooth, they make it into a thing.
Yes.
But look, I'm the first one that'll say that a professional shouldn't be able to be instigated. But there's a fine line there where you're trying to make things happen on purpose because, look, it's okay if a place passes. Don't look at it as a wasted visit. or some shit. Don't say like I can't make this be a wasted visit. I have to make something happen here. No, they did good. They passed, dude. That's just what we're doing. We're testing them out. You know?
That's not a wasted visit. It's a good
for the
visit.
most part, like,
That's.
Go ahead.
Those are the best visits when everybody's good and there's nothing there to film. There's no reason to create that.
Yep. It's okay to have a pass, man.
Yeah.
And it's not like you like it's not a waste of your time to have a pass. Don't ever there's channels out there that's trying to make it like I need it to be a spectacular video. Like it's not about a spectacular video. It's just you go in, you record, you do what you gotta do, and you bounce. And then whatever happens in between time happens in between time. You know, and you deal with it.
Yep.
Easy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of channels out there like I'm gonna have to be real and shit, man. Like shit, and we don't have a lot of people on our side, and the people that we do have on our side, like it's a mixed crowd. And some people are like, oh man, just fuck the cops. And that's all they want to see. And then other people are like intelligent. And then other people are like, I want to see you, you know, do this and that and get them, slap them with something, for you request them. Like, it's a mixed crowd out there on the internet. And I try not to pay attention to anybody that is thinking something that I'm not thinking.
That's coming from somebody that's never called a government representative or tried to do anything ever.
Uh-huh.
I say that the person that's telling you to FOIOP that or whatever, they've never never even called the government representative.
Yeah, no.
Earlier that night, a cop stopped them for no legal reason, and they give up their ID because they're scared, and then they go home because they're like, fuck cops. And then they watch our video and say,
And then
you
thing we made my
punked
insurance
out.
payment on
And
time.
like,
Keyboard warrior it.
You probably got punked out earlier. You didn't even record any of it. So don't tell me, you know what I'm saying? Like, why don't you pick up the camera and show people how to do it, man? Like, do it. Yeah. Oh, you didn't follow through. I want to see you do something and then follow through, man. Do it, man.
Yeah.
Show me how it's done, man.
Okay,
Because I know what I'm doing. I'm not in this to go after everybody and make everybody lose their jobs, and that's not gonna change. That's not gonna change anything. It's just gonna make people lose their jobs. You know,
somebody else is going to go back in there that could be worse.
A camera, it's going to be a bigger picture thing. No, I'm just recording things, man. I'm
Right
recording
now, I have at least 5 complaint forms and 3 FOIA forms sitting over there in a drawer that I got from people just because you can. Like one time I walked into one office and I asked for like a freedom of information, and she's like, we don't even know what that is. You have to go somewhere else. I'm like, no, you have to have it. And then I've made her call their legal department, and then like after about 30 minutes, she came back with it.
Public records request form.
Yeah, they don't even know what they are. I do it just to kind of teach them.
Well, FOIA. Well, you know, even saying it like that, FOIA is like a shortened term for it.
No,
Freedom Information Act request is a federal thing. First off, like a lot of people get that confused. At a federal building, if you're trying to get records for federal things, yeah, a FOIA would be appropriate. A FOIA is a public records request for federal information.
The post office, the White House, all those things.
Yeah. The Department of Justice. Yes, that FOIA. But it's anywhere else. Like if somebody's taking a cam back of you at the municipal hall or something, that would just be a public records request document.
At the congressman's office.
But people always say FOIA all the time. They plug it around a little hard, but it is that FOIA is federal. Freedom of Information Act is a federal thing.
My only problem is that I never usually file them. I just ask for them so that they.
So if a cop comes out there and says, "We ain't federal, motherfucker, ain't no FOIA," they can clown the shit out of you.
Oh yeah, they can. Yeah.
Yeah, they can make you look stupid on video.
Yup.
So like that's something that everybody has to be aware of when they say FOIA.
Yup.
Yeah.
There's things out there like that people say they mess up. There's people that say, "Oh, that's a Bain Act."
Say that again, Solo.
I think you can actually get some of those cameras from the post office. I know it's a long road to get them, but there's ways to get a lot of that stuff.
Yes.
And that's going to be your FOIA requested. Anything federal,
Right.
really.
Yep.
I've done a couple FOIA requested between two different, one senator and another congressman. And I'll tell you, it's just the road, because who you're supposed to go to, you have to go through this hoop, and then you have to go through this hoop, and then they start the process, and you're probably not, you're gonna get in like about a month. Or at least me, it took about a month. All the information, and I was just like,
Yeah, I think the freedom of information like gives you, like, there's an extended shelf period. If there's some, like, it should be 7 to 10 days, but they give themselves exceptions.
Yeah.
Like if we had to do this or this or this, it could be anywhere up to like 36 days or some shit.
Yeah, and every state is different too. Like Florida, they're 10 to 15 days for most of the things here. Other places could be 30.
Yeah, a lot of it's redaction. That's what I would tell you, because when I got one of the papers I got, certain people's names, I guess, but I'll never know.
Yeah.
But hey, let's dude, I was just trying to say that. I was trying to stop and Too Tall. Say what you got to say, brother.
I mean, fuck. Thank you. It's really hard to get something in when Joe was here. I love Joe, but my God, he can dominate the floor for a while, can't he?
He can.
Joe's the man, dude. He freaking blows my mind sometimes.
Well, he might be the man, but he lacks considerations for other people's words. Anyway, hey, can you all hold the mic for a minute? Let me spit this out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll let you guys run for a while. If I may have a word for a minute, thank you. No, we're good. I don't like to repeat myself, and I'd like to be heard. And when I'm being oversparked, nobody else in the back room can hear what's going on.
What you got to say?
Right. Okay. I have suffered an injustice here in Kansas of several levels. I have a wrongful conviction that I was in touch with 48 hours about doing a story about, but they have no interest in it because nobody was killed. But it's a very intriguing case. It's on its way to the Supreme Court, but I've run out of gas and the mentalities to fuck with it. I am seeking my justice in the court of public opinion. I want to make a YouTube movie about my experience and tell my story like a 48 hours formatted show would be like. And I'm going to expose some bastards in Clay Center, Kansas, and Clay County. I've got dirty cop, abuse of power and privilege. I got a fucked up chief of police. I got a fucked up sheriff's department and several officers of the sheriff's department. I have some civil right violations. I have some shit with the attorney general's office. I have some shit on the district attorney. And the probable suspect might be an old drunk hoe that got a couple DWIs that wound up having some affairs with a police officer and was later doing maid service for the district attorney. Now, I'll drop my email and my address. If any of you boys know anybody that wants to take this to the next level, I'm looking for some help to make a YouTube movie, like a 48-hour story. Some people have got some skills, got some intelligence. Currently, I live in Kansas. I'm a disabled American. I'm an American veteran, United States Navy. I'm 60 years old. I've I'm leaving Kansas as a medicinal refugee to relocate to Denver, Colorado because of the opioid war on drugs and the VA no longer providing medication that I need for my pain. And anyway, I'm hoping to relocate to Denver with hopes and dreams to live the final years of my life as a medicinal refugee and volunteer my time helping out at Janet's Kitchen on 6th Street Mall and join forces and brotherhood with some friends of mine with the Denver crew.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of a little bit I wanted to say, hey, how y'all doing? The poor dirt farmer sent me your way.
Oh, thank you.
And told me you guys are some boys that can get some shit done
Oh,
and know how to do some shit.
You know what? You know
and
what?
somebody has some time and diligence. Now, this movie I want to make,
I think
I
Bang
don't
has
want
time.
to fucking die.
Yes.
Hang on. This movie I want to make, I don't want a fucking dime from it. Whoever contributes to making the movie will put it and whatever the fuck happens to it goes to whoever helps get my story out. Just before I die, I want some justice in Clay Center, Kansas.
Oh, no doubt. I think
Bangle.
Bolt Action News Group.
Yep.
I think Bolt Action News Group can put together that story
Yes.
for you.
Okay, I will
Email
drop my
me.
email in the private chat.
That'll work.
No.
That'll work.
I will leave you my email in the private chat.
Yep. I got it.
If there's anybody in the chat that's interested, let me know. I'll put it out here. But I don't fuck around with the trolls in my live streams. I run a cool, everybody can have a word to say, but ain't everybody talking all the fuck at once. Because that's just hell on the audience and anybody trying to wear some headphones. Think about it when you guys are having a panel. I've been in radio a little bit, and who the fuck would want to listen to some shit like this on the FM radio? Just if we're going to be a community, let's have some format and some of these people and some of their talk is just that's not really good representation. I mean, yeah, we're all going to be different, this, that, and the other. We're going to have our differences. There's some people we ain't going to be able to tolerate. There's some people I have issues with, but mainly I have my issues and I have a little slight saying, slap a hoe and whack a troll. There's some of these people out here that ain't nothing but chat room hoes that just, hey, how you doing? Got subscribers out the ass and ain't got shit for content. Ain't nothing but flapping their gums in the chat. Now, some of them are some of them supporters and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We know who they are.
Yep.
And we know who the idiots are.
There's misfits everywhere.
And we also know these I just, I'm saying 2020 slap a hoe, whack a troll.
There's misfits everywhere.
We need to keep our chats clean so that we need to keep our chat rooms clean of those idiots. Because when people come here and they see that shit and they get attacked by these goofs, that might be a potential somebody for the community. When they come in and get involved in that shit, it takes away from the mission at hand. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's on the creator. That's on the creator. Whether you get triggered or not, that's a big issue.
I'm just saying.
With people is you have to be able to control yourself. Nobody puppet strings you. Nobody's in control of what you do. Your arms and your legs, your mind, your control, your body.
Hey guys, I gotta go to bed.
All right, Solo, thank you for jumping in here.
Thank you
for sure.
I give you guys some rubs. You got some content.
Yes.
Well, thank you all.
Thank you for all you do.
Do what we can to be better than we were yesterday.
I'm out of here.
It won't be the last time we see each other.
I'm gonna catch some of you.
For sure, man. Definitely.
No, we'll see each other all again, man.
I'm popping into some live stuff and see me.
Awesome meeting you guys. Awesome meeting you, SoloYaker.
Email me or I'll email you. One of the two.
Yeah.
All right, Wolfie. Thank you, Wolfie.
Yep. See you guys, man.
I'll see you.
Hang on. Let me get
you too, Tom.
Let me get this email in the chat. I haven't got that done yet.
Solo, do you have an email on your about page?
Yeah, just
YouTube?
type in my name at Gmail.
Okay. Mine's the
SoloYaker at
same
Gmail.
thing. Yeah. Mine's the same. Eyes on the State at Gmail. So.
Easy enough.
I mean,
yes, it is.
That's just a little something I want to put out there. That's kind of why. This is kind of why I've really put myself out there on YouTube and doing this live stream because, I've been following Tom Zebra and Freeman and Gavin for years. And, fuck the police. I've been a victim of this shit since the 80s. I'm 60 fucking years old. I've seen some shit. I know how they work. I know how fucked we are. But, in effort, though, if we're going to be a community and we're going to fucking be doing something, we have to have a little bit of, something that's pleasant to come and join up with.
Yes.
And I mean, if we just sound like a bunch of gang of idiots and shit, who the fuck wants to follow that crowd,
Yeah,
nobody. How hard is it to hear
Information.
the message,
That's why it has to be
saying?
educational. It has to be educational first and foremost. That's why it's
when
always
the
about
information,
what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it.
Yep.
but when we're putting that information out, it has to be somewhat pleasant to the ears for it to be heard. Although sometimes some of the information when we're addressing our government, we need to go Eric Brandt and go fuck the police.
Yep.
But what I'm saying, but as a community and amongst ourselves, we can do better. In our conversation.
We can all do better.
Yeah. We have
mean,
down here in Florida, we have a really strong
room for
strong
improvement.
group. We have a strong. There's not really a lot of drama with any of us down here. We don't really. It's really pretty good. We try to stay together down here.
But I'm gonna see you guys later.
All right, Solo. I'll see you. Thank you, man.
Cool, bro.
Yeah, damn, you've been at it for 4 hours.
Yes, sir.
You about out of gas, or you
Yes,
still
I
up
am.
and need an apple fritter?
No, I got.
Are you out of gas, or are you up for an apple fritter?
No, I'm out of gas. I got to get some. I got to get some shut eye really quick before I have to go to work in the morning. Because I have a job too. But thank you for coming in. I have your email. I will email you.
You got the email, brother.
Yes, sir, I do. I will email you and get a hold of you, and we will be in touch, okay?
Oh, and hey.
Yes.
Gary the Snowflake that makes some crazy videos about YouTube characters. He's got some funny ass Uncle Too Tall Rob and shit.
Does he? I'll have to check it out then.
All right,
I will. All right, man. Have a good night. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for staying with us tonight, being active in the chat. Make sure you hit that sub with that bell icon. Hit that like, share, subscribe. There's going to be more to come from us. Thank you. Eyes on the Stake.